from Shea Stadium in New York. Tonight, the New York Mets battle their crosstown rivals, the New York Yankees, in the second midseason Subway Series. Mets Baseball 98 is brought to you by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. By OmniPoint, 100% digital, 0% hassle. Call 1-800-BUY-OMNI. And by your local Chrysler Plymouth dealers. Boy, this is great. Pitching for the Yankees, Hideki Irabu, 6-3 at 2.19 ERA. And on the mound for the Mets, left-hander Leiter, 9-3, and he leads the majors in earned run average.
For the next 3 nights, the train stops right here, Shea Stadium in New York. Welcome, everybody. Mets and Yankee fans will get it together. Con Ed may make electricity for a lot of New York, but these folks are going to be generating even more for the next 3 nights. For the 107th time, these two New York teams go at one another. Hello, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne, along with Tim McCarver, and welcome. This has been a long-anticipated series. Timmy, it finally kicks off here tonight, and with the matchup on the mound, what a way to begin.
And they will be watching from Toms River, New Jersey to Chiba, Japan. Representing Toms River, he leads the majors in earned run average. Leiter, the left-hander with a 1.60 ERA. He's 9-3. And representing Chiba, Japan, and the American League Yankees, he leads the American League in earned run average, Hideki Irabu. And really, you've heard it many times in sports, but I got to tell you, the hype's worth it. It doesn't get any better than this.
None better than this. They've been here for a long time waiting for this game to start. The fans have. The rain clouds have gone away. It is a baseball night. So when we come back, why don't we play? Game 1, Mets and Yankees, right here on 9 when we return. Right after this from Budweiser. Our national anthem tonight will be performed by recording artist Brian McKnight. He is behind home plate and ready to go.
By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, all the ramparts we watched were so gallantly seen, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Brian McKnight. You see the folks still coming from the subway station into Shea Stadium. Full house, obviously, for all 3 of these games, and the electricity, probably nothing like this since 1986 when that man was playing right field for the Mets.
Even in 1988, when the Mets played the Los Angeles Dodgers in the playoffs, and David Cohn went 20-3 that year, this place was not like that. It is riveting this evening.
Folks were showing up here early this afternoon. Parking, setting up the grills. Yogi Berra is on hand to throw out the first ball. Mets and Yankees. After this from Citibank. Noise as the New York Mets take the field. Mets manager manager Bobby Valentine said he hoped it wouldn't be 50-50 in the applause. It isn't. It's 100% for Yogi Berra. The great Yankee catcher and the only man to play and manage for both the Mets and the Yankees.
Shea Stadium holds about 52,000 more than Yogi Berra Stadium, recently built over in Montclair, New Jersey. One of the most popular personalities in New York sports history, Yogi Berra.
A great hand for him. As he leaves here, he's going to stay and watch the game. What a great pitching matchup we have for you here in tonight's game. For the New York Mets, their 32-year-old left-hander, Leiter. That earned run average of 1.60 is the best not only in the National League, but in the majors. And he will go for his 10th win tonight and his 7th win in a row. He is 1-3 lifetime against the New York Yankees. And the Yankees lineup, Chuck Knobloch, the second baseman, leads it off. Derek Jeter, the shortstop, hitting second. Paul O'Neill batting third. Tim Raines hitting in the cleanup spot, first time this year. Jorge Posada at first base. Chad Curtis, the center fielder, batting sixth. Scott Brochus at third. Joe Girardi, the catcher, batting eighth. And Hideki Irabu batting ninth. And defensively for the New York Mets, it will be the regulars all in the lineup here tonight. In the outfield, Bernard Gilkey back in, Brian McRae and Butch Husky. In the infield, Edgardo Alfonso, Ray Ordonez, Carlos Baerga, and John Olerud. Mike Piazza doing the catching, and Leiter on the mound. Ed Rapuano will be the home plate umpire tonight. Charlie Williams at first, Frank Pulley at second, and Bruce Dreckman will be over at third base. Rudy Giuliani, the mayor of the city of New York. Fred Wilpon, co-owner of the New York Mets, seated on the right side. George Steinbrenner to be here tonight with Joe Torre's New York Yankees. Nelson Doubleday also on hand, the other owner of the New York Mets. Bobby Valentine, the skipper of the Mets, talking about the level of intensity expected for tonight's game and how much it means to the fans here in New York. And that's what he's talking about right now. This is what it's all about. They are rocking. Leiter's ready. Knobloch up, and we're underway. Chopper, that went off the foot of Knobloch. Foul, strike one.
And if you followed Leiter this season, you will know that the New York Yankee hitters will be facing 3 out of 4 pitches of that cut fastball inside on the hands. That's what it was to Knobloch. He is similar to Andy Pettitte, the left-hander who will start for the Yankees tomorrow. The biggest difference between the two, Leiter throws a heavy cutter, Pettitte throws a light cutter.
Knobloch takes the fastball, missed inside that time. Leiter has changed significantly the way he pitches. Andy Pettitte, Timmy was talking about as a comparison with that cutter pitch that is thrown. Leiter's gone much more to some off-speed stuff. Knobloch, left field. Gilkey's got room.
Batting second, number 2, shortstop Derek Jeter.
Chuck Knobloch hit that ball, and all of the Yankee bench got up on the top step. You can see in the background, watch. They think this ball's got a shot. Everybody up on the top step. And it's a routine out. But no, the players aren't affected by this game, huh, Gary?
They don't care.
No, it's just another ball game.
Just another game.
Yeah.
Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter celebrating a birthday today. How about that? 24 years old today in Game 1 of this Subway Series here at Shea. He fouls that one off the fist. Husky, a long run, will not get to it. A foul ball and a 2-strike count on Derek Jeter. And there's the birthday signs. Some of the fans on hand here today for Jeter.
There are several things that are in dispute this evening, depending on whether you're a Yankee fan or a Met fan. The one thing that you cannot dispute is that there is one matinee idol on both rosters, and he's at the plate right now.
Is he that?
Yeah.
0-2 delivery to him. Fastball up high. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Jeter, of course, had been on the DL. The Yankees still playing without their center fielder, Bernie Williams, out of there. Derek Jeter on the 15-day DL with a strained abdominal muscle. Getting back in and hitting the ball hard again. Grounded to third. Edgardo Alfonzo, bad hop, but he played it. Olerud the pick. Good work at both ends.
Good work at both ends, Gary, but I still, and Edgardo Alfonzo will deny this, but I still think that he has problems with the back of that throwing shoulder. A strained rotator cuff put him on the disabled list in early May. And how many times have we seen John Olerud bail out Alfonzo on low throws and bad throws over the last 2 weeks?
And Timmy, you saw where he threw that from?
Yeah, under. That's right.
He's not on top of the ball.
No, that's right.
So Olerud had to get out and pick that a little bit. You get an infielder throwing like that, pretty good sign that there's a soreness up there. One of the game's great hitters, Paul O'Neill. Leiter gets the chopper. Carlos Baerga will make the play. Good inning for Al Leiter. His Major League best ERA wasn't hurt with that 1-2-3 inning. Mets coming up after this from Volkswagen.
Mets! No, you like the Mets, I like the Yankees, okay? I like the Mets. Yeah, you like the Mets.
To have a fan with him tonight. Could not say no to the bobblehead doll man from the other side.
Malicious looks on their faces.
They are. Hideki Irabu, 29-year-old right-hander. He has lost his last 2 starts, but a solid earned run average of 2.19 and 6-3 on the year. Irabu will make his first appearance here against the New York Mets, as they will have Edgardo Alfonzo, Bernard Gilkey, and Piazza due up. Alfonzo, a couple of hits in his last 8 at-bats. And the fastball is there. You can gauge the division of the crowd by the applause in these different situations tonight. It won't be hard to tell, because if they're here, they're making noise. Alfonzo with an 0-1 count. And the outside fastball that time. He doesn't chase. A ball and 1 strike on Edgardo.
The Mets have never faced a pitcher quite like Hideki Irabu as far as his motion is concerned. It's a very unusual front leg kick that they have to get used to, and that's it.
Alfonzo will foul that one off, no play. Almost like a rocking chair delivery when he takes the whole body back and then comes forward.
It's similar to the unusual move that Sid Fernandez, the left-hander for the Mets, used to have. His leg hits the ground before the arm comes around. A lot of times the right-handers will be behind those fastballs of Irabu, as Alfonzo was then.
A 1 ball, 2 strike count. Irabu with 60 strikeouts in 78 innings. And the 1-2 is fouled back again by Edgardo Alfonzo. New York Mets have all the regulars back in the lineup tonight. Alfonso's missed some time this year with injuries, and Gilkey, who had been out of there for a while, is batting in the number 2 spot here in tonight's game, hoping to get the bat going. 1 ball, 2 strike count on the Mets' third baseman. And the breaking ball fooled him badly, but he got a piece of it.
Gary, one of the fun things to compare these 2 teams and their players, and I guess if you're comparing Edgardo Alfonzo as a hitter, he's very similar to the hitting styles of Derek Jeter. They're both very, very good 2-strike hitters, and both hit for a high average. Jeter's going to get a lot more infield hits because of his speed.
1-2 by Irabu's the fastball, and that just missed. He'd set that fastball up with a breaking ball before, and has almost had Alfonzo on both of those pitches.
Very, very close. Girardi setting up outside off the plate. Irabu hits the mitt, but it's a ball.
2-2 delivery. And again, chopped foul.
That's very interesting. Girardi tried to get that strike off the plate on that prior pitch, and then on the 3-2 count, he moved the target back on the outside part of the plate. Nobody works the pitcher any better than Joe Girardi. There are some as good, but no one better.
And Alfonso working him over here in this at-bat. 2-2 the count. And he takes it full. Alfonso has struck out only 29 times for a leadoff batter. Only 27 walks, not a lot in that department. A contact hitter, though, is pushing that average up to 272 now after he'd had a slow start with that injury problem. First 3-2 delivery of the ball game. And fought off again. Boy, this is a great at-bat for the entire Mets team. To have him start this way against Irabu, he's now seen everything. Forced Irabu to throw a lot here early on and just one batter. Mel Stottlemyre, former Met pitching coach, now of course the New York Yankee pitching coach. This is going to be pitch number 10 coming up from Irabu on this at-bat. And he walked him.
Second,
the rest of the Mets lineup brought to you by your Tri-State Quality Ford dealer, Gilkey, Piazza, and John Olerud, followed by Carlos Baerga, the second baseman. Butch Husky, the right fielder, hitting 6th. Brian McCray, the center fielder, hitting 7th. Ray Ordonez, the shortstop, will hit 8th. And Al Leiter, the pitcher, batting 9th. Now, in situations like this early in the year, Gilkey has bunted. And the one thing the Mets want to do against Irabu is bunt. He is a poor fielding pitcher.
2 sacrifices for Gilkey. Did not show bunt there. Takes the fastball up high. Ball 1. Gilkey has had only 3 hits in his last 42 at-bats. Cookie Rojas, third base coach of the Mets. Irabu checking over at first here. Jorge Posada in. Tino Martinez is out. He's got a bad shoulder bothering him, so he's out of the game today. Gilkey not bunting, fouls it back, 1-1 on a fastball. For Bernard Gilkey, a certain desire that he wants to hit away, because he is tearing about not being in the lineup the other night as a starter, and then coming in a double switch and not getting to hit later in the game.
It's in the 9th inning of the game against Baltimore last night.
So he's got some fire in his eyes right now. He and Bobby Valentine are on a collision course.
I agree with that. At this point,
there's some real hard feelings, and for reasons I'm not sure about, but they sure are there.
Yep.
1-1. Breaking ball. Gilkey not biting on that. Good stop made by Girardi.
That curveball on the outside, or low and away, invites the hit and run right here. Nice play by Girardi on the short hop. I would think Bobby Valentine will turn Alfonso loose here.
2-1 count. Irabu's had 1 pickoff this year. He varies the moves. Runner goes. Gilkey. He's got a base hit into right field. Alfonso's on his way to third. O'Neill into second. Mets a rally in the first inning.
And third, number 31, catcher Mike Piazza.
In the Spalding guide, it says, how does a right-hander hit and run? Well, it's like this. Knobloch covering, ground ball right side, Alfonso to third.
This is why Mike Piazza was acquired by the New York Mets. Right here. These situations. First and third. Nobody out.
Gary, a lot of National League pitchers that have movement inside try to jam Piazza. But the one thing that Irabu has to do to right-handers, for the most part, is stay away from right-handed hitters. He doesn't have a tailing fastball.
Piazza takes it in the dirt. Good block made. Girardi, that's 2 now that have really been outside and low that Girardi's had to block.
This is a fine play by Joe Girardi. under C in that same guide. That's how you block balls in the dirt.
That's a great block. Piazza, since coming over to the Mets, hitting .365, 4 home runs, and 10 RBIs. Another breaking ball down and away again, 2-0.
See, everything's going to be away. If he comes in, it's going to be bad as John Olerud waits on deck.
Irabu's got magnificent numbers. Opposition's hitting .203 against him. 200 by left-handers and .206 by right-handers. Those are unbelievable numbers. 2-0, and he stays away and misses. 3-0 the count on Piazza. Irabu, a loser in his last 2 starts and only 3 innings against Cleveland. In his last outing, he gave up 5 runs on 6 hits and walked 2. He's walked them loaded.
Partner, you said it right. That at-bat by Alfonso set up this inning. 10 pitches to Alfonso and the walk. Now, if Edgardo makes an out, then you don't have a chance to hit and run. Then he's not as fond of Piazza. And that at-bat by Alfonso, a case could be made that that's in large part the reason that the bases are loaded with nobody out.
And all the guys sitting got a chance to see all those pitches, like Bernard Gilkey, who got the base hit, and Piazza drew the walk. And John Olerud. Bases loaded, nobody out. Olerud, one of the best at getting them home. .333 with runners in scoring position, .325 overall. And up high, Irabu. He's missing all over the place here in the first inning. 13th start of the year, 22nd of his major league career. Hideki Irabu in trouble here with the bases loaded and nobody out. Olerud fouls it off.
It's of real concern to the Mets. John Olerud has been taking tired swings over the last 10 days. Most of his foul balls have been off to the left side. Even most of his fair balls have been off to the left side, as he has seen his batting average drop precipitously over the last 3 weeks.
146 since June 13, and it's not unusual for Olerud, who tends to tire mid-season. 1-1. Pass ball away. 2-ball, 1-strike count on Olerud. Yankees infield pulled around a bit towards the middle. Broch's third baseman has moved over towards short, leaving that left field line open. Jeter, the shortstop, has swung around towards second base as well. The outfield actually plays him a little bit to left. 2-1 count. Fouled it off. Irabu comes back to even the count at 2-2. See how the center fielder Curtis has moved to left while the infielders on the left side are moved the other way.
Now the middle of the infield is playing for the double play. Play even more straight away. You don't have to cheat as much for a runner as slow as Olerud. You don't have to get to second as quickly. Piazza's slow, Olerud's slow. You don't have to worry about the takeout slide or the runner with the bat.
John is hit into 5 ground ball double plays. 2-2, bases loaded. Olerud takes it. Off-speed pitch.
Looked like a splitter. Joe Torre saying that pitch was just up a little bit. And as you see, Joe was right.
3-2. Nobody out. Be interesting tonight, Timmy. Bobby Valentine said he had word from Cleveland, did not specify the party, telling him that Irabu was tipping his pitches. Valentine would not say what he knew and whether that was just a ploy to have Irabu reading about or whether he actually knows something. He wouldn't say. 3-2 the count again to Olerud. Towards second base, Knobloch. Jeter, the relay, in time, double play, run scores. Alfonso crosses, But Irabu gets a huge ground ball double play off the bat of John Olerud.
Batting fifth, number 8, second baseman Carlos Baerga.
Two big outs for Irabu right there. And last night's ball game, Carlos Baerga getting tips from Tom Robson, the hitting instructor, off of Scott Erickson, telling him to keep the shoulder in there. His next time up in the 4th inning. Make that the 9th inning. He gets a base hit to win the ball game.
Now he faces Irabu, and he takes a strike. I asked Carlos about that tonight, and Baerga said, for the last week, I've not felt comfortable at the plate. My stance is too wide. That's why I wasn't driving it up the middle. This one goes to Knobloch. He makes the flip, and Irabu a big comeback. The Mets will pick up 1 run on 1 hit, leave 1 on, and for Irabu, take a deep sigh. Back after this for Infinity.
Entire post-game story on the Battle of New York.
Plus, the Cadillac NFL Golf Classic and some of the more bizarre moments in sports.
Sports Team 9 coming up after the game.
I believe in the 98 Mets.
Show up at Shea for Saturday Night Baseball on July 11th. All fans will get a free sports bag courtesy of Fox Sports New York. Be here when the Mets take on the Montreal Expos. For tickets, call 718-507-TIXX. That's 718-507-TIXX.
Show up at Shea for Sports Bag Night, sponsored by Fox Sports New York.
When are you disappointed to score a run? When your cleanup hitter hits into a double play with the bases loaded and nobody out. 3-2 fastball on the hands. Olerud is jammed. Easily turned by Knobloch and Jeter. A huge play for the Yankees early.
Leiter back to work. 1-0 lead. Tim Raines up, and he fouls it off. No designated hitter tonight, of course. Darryl Strawberry had started a game in left field in the last series against Atlanta. Strawberry, of course, here tonight. He missed the series last year because of an injury at Yankee Stadium when they played the Mets, but he's not in the lineup tonight. Leiter comes inside.
He'll be in the lineup tomorrow and Sunday against the right-handers. Bobby Jones tomorrow going for the Mets, and Masato Yoshi on Sunday night. No way you're going to start Strawberry against a left-hander like Leiter.
And he can't wait to play.
But not against Leiter.
No, he is excited about coming back to Shea. Talk about players. He did not try and tone it down at all. He couldn't talk enough about it. Of course, with the '86 World Champions here, he was the regular right fielder. 2-ball, 1-strike count. 32-year-old Al Leiter and Raines 2-2. Raines didn't like the call and talks to Ed Rapuano. 38 years old now and a .296 career hitter coming into this season. Raines has faced Leiter before. 3 hits and 8 at-bats off this left-hander. And the 2-2's away. This crowd is like a surging sea. Waves of sound around Shea Stadium here tonight, as it will be all weekend. 3-2 delivery to Raines. He's got a base hit. Lead-off man on for the Yankees. Their first hit off Leiter.
This ball down in the strike zone, middle of the plate, hammered to left field. What happens to balls in the middle of the plate? The double play ball that Irabu got with Olerud, and ball in on the hands. Throwing hard is not enough up here.
Especially against this lineup.
That's right.
Jorge Posada playing first base tonight. 41st time he's been over there at first. So he said Tito Martinez out of the lineup. So Jorge Posada gets the start at first base. With the 40 winter ball experiences there, and now gets to try it at the major league level at first.
He broke in as the second baseman. There's Tino Martinez, still having problems with that right shoulder, plunked by Armando Benitez in mid-May. And Martinez can play, but Joe being Joe Torre, wanted to sit him against the likes of Al Leiter.
Martinez continues to say he's fine. He will not admit to any problem. He wants to be in the lineup, but he has really struggled at the plate since that incident. 0-1 count here with Raines at first. That one chopped. Going to be trouble. Leiter's got to hurry to first. Won't get him. Posada with an infield single.
I think Mike Piazza gave up on this ball. Look at Piazza. Piazza's not even in the picture, even though it did crawl down that third baseline a little farther than Mike thought. But usually you do see your catcher go after a ball like this. He may be waved off by the pitcher. Al Leiter very deliberate in going after it, and Posada, who runs fairly well for a first baseman.
Very well put.
Thank you.
If he was catching, you wouldn't have said that.
No, that's true.
No, that's right. 1-0 lead for the Mets. Yankees threatening here in the second inning. Chad Curtis, 4 for 19, lifetime off Leiter. They come in at the corners, and the pitch is taken inside for a ball. Mets defense jumping. Olerud started in. Alfonso a couple of steps in and played it halfway.
I think Alfonso should be playing back. I don't think Curtis is thinking about bunting here. If he does, it'll be for a base hit. Now Alfonso's given the defensive signals. I don't know what they're going to do, but if he's even with the bag, he's too shallow. Now he backs up a bit.
Curtis does not have a sacrifice all year.
You got the bottom of the order coming up.
Really squeezing in the middle by Erga and Ordonez. They back off. 1-0 delivery, and that's inside. Ball 2. Ron Zimmer, the bench coach there with Joe Torre, his favorite chat partner. And what a help.
Wearing number 50. Popeye's 50th year in the game.
And he is always in the game. 2-0 count. Curtis taking, and a strike on the inside corner to him. Curtis hitting only .235 against left-handers. He's getting these starts, of course, in center field. Well, the all-star center fielder Bernie Williams is out of there. A big opportunity for him to help the Yankees here in this situation at this point of the year. 53 and 19, best record, of course, in all of baseball. Both home and on the road, #1 records. 2-1. Fouled off 2-2.
Usually when pitchers are behind in the count, especially 2-0 or 3-1, you don't come inside. Those hitters can open up on that pitch. They look for the ball in there. But Leiter doesn't change his style regardless of the count. When he's ahead, he comes inside. When he's behind, he comes inside.
Leiter's got it even up here, 2-2. Raines at second, Posada at first. Nobody out. And we'll have to wait. Backing out of there is Curtis. Both these teams come into this series on win streaks. Yankees have won their last 2, and the Mets have won their last 3. Both doing real well in interleague play. 8-2 for the Yankees, 7-3 for the Mets. 2-2, long look back by Leiter. Full count.
Send the runners? Absolutely. That's the one thing Joe Torre brought to the Yankees, the aggressive National League style. As you look at Scott Brocious, speed on its second. You may see Piazza throw it behind or to the trail runner. If Curtis swings and misses, he may try to get Posada at second instead of Raines at third.
Baerga, you see the second baseman is covering here with a right-handed hitter up. He's way over there. He'll back off a little bit off Raines on the pitch. 3-2 count, nobody out. Runners go. Swung on, lined. Ordonez! A great catch! Hang on here! 1, 2. They can't turn 3. But it was that close, baby.
Had Jorge Posada gotten the sign at first base, it's a triple play. Posada didn't run. It's a double steal. Raines runs, Posada doesn't, and that's what prevented the triple play. Look at Posada right there going back to first, chased back by Olerud. Remarkable play by Ordonez. Look at Raines taking off. Again, the same play. And because the catch was so incredible, Ordonez wanted to make sure of the runner at second base because he wasn't sure how far Posada was getting back to first.
2 down, just like that. Last time the Mets had a triple play back in 1989, and they were really close right there. Ray Ordonez continues. Magnificent play at shortstop. Scott Brocious, 1 ball, 1 strike count, 2 down. Posada still on at first. The highlight reel continues to grow.
I'm not sure that Ray had possession of the ball with that index finger and middle finger when he went to throw initially. And then he wanted to make sure because he could see Raines in front of him. And he took the easy play at second base without realizing that had he thrown the first time, they get the triple play. Posada hit first base. Wow.
Leiter with a 1-2 count here. Fouled straight back by Brocious, the Yankee third baseman. So we've had 2 big defensive plays made in this game already. The Yankees against the Mets on that double play that Olerud hit into in the first inning when the bases were loaded and nobody out. And now this one, a double play with 2 on and nobody out. Brocious, a 1-2 count. Not holding the runner at first on the bag. Up high, 2-2.
Al Leiter has not thrown an off-speed pitch in this ball game. All fastballs.
You know, you got to believe some of that's coming because he knows the scouting report of the Yankees has said a lot about the off-speed pitches he's used this year. Trying to mix it up a little here early on.
Perhaps.
2-2 fouled off. Because we've seen him start games where he's almost thrown entirely off-speed stuff.
His last start, as a matter of fact, first time through the lineup against the Florida Marlins, he featured straight change and curveball. And then the second time through the lineup, it was not one of his better outings, even though he gave up only 2 runs in 7 innings. But then he went to the fastball.
2-2 delivered to Brocious. He got it. With a little help from his friends. By the name of Ray, Al Leiter gets out of that inning. Back after this from Sullivan Smith Barney.
Exciting. I really can't believe I'm going to get to meet the mayor of New York City. All this because I have a new TV show on UPN. I wonder if he'll let me sit in his chair.
A lot of congratulations for Ray Ordonez again.
And that's the reason right here.
What a catch. Which Husky leads it off against Irabu. 1-0 Mets.
Gary, when you're seeing that whole play develop, you're knowing the runners are going to run. When you don't see Posada run, you assume he missed the sign. Well, on that replay, Olerud.
Husky drives it to right field. Paul O'Neill.
Olerud going behind Posada. That is a play designed by the Mets to keep that runner at first close, but it backfired on the Mets then because had they not used that play, then it's a triple play. We thought he missed the sign. He didn't. He goes back because of Olerud's faking him back. And then he's not close enough to second and is close enough to first to get back. Wow.
Ryan McRae on the off-speed pitch showed bunt, takes a strike. Regardless of what players may have said prior to the start of this game, the first 2 innings of this game are being played like Game 7, 9th inning World Series.
I mean, it's already been a good series.
Yeah, already. 0-1 is in the dirt. A 1-ball, 1-strike count on Brian McRae. 2 for his last 7 for McRae, the switch hitter for the Mets. Very light breeze blowing here tonight after some very light rain went through late this afternoon. Neither team able to take batting practice or fielding practice before tonight's game. Probably for them just as well, with 9 billion people on hand to interview them. Bobby Valentine said average is the last thing you should look at in evaluating a player's offense. He said that tonight, and he was talking about Brian McRae.
Yeah, I don't know if I buy that. When you consider the Mets' difficulty in scoring runs, how can you say that about the Mets' offense? You know, perhaps you can say that about the other areas in McRae's offense, but not about his average.
And also, to me, average generally is a pretty good indicator of what those other numbers are going to look like.
It's at least some kind of indicator. I mean, come on. Yeah. 230 batter? Come on. Not admire a guy taking up for his team, but I mean.
3-2 still.
Here, the Mets last night were 2 for 22 with runners on base. But it's, you know, if Bobby abides by that, well, then it's the average that's not that important. And come on, Bobby.
It was a W, but you don't want to win. You won't win many like that.
No.
3-2 again, fouled off. Irabu has walked 2, hasn't struck anybody out. Put away pitch has been hard for him to come by early on here. Alfonso battling with foul balls. McRae now doing the same thing here. 1 down in the 2nd inning and nobody on. Ordonez to follow Brian McRae. Irabu with a 3-2 again. And he walked it. That's 3 walks already given up by Irabu.
Batting eighth, number 10, shortstop Ray Ordonez.
The hand, of course, for Ordonez and that magnificent defensive play. Ray steps in with a runner on at first base. 5 hits in his last 11 at-bats. Runner on at first base here. Brocious moves in at 3rd. He's already 2 steps in on the grass. 1 down. Pretty good lead over there by McRae.
Something to consider here. You're less inclined to allow McRae to try to steal because Ordonez has a very poor batting average. So you're more inclined to have the hit and run on. Thereby, if Ordonez can find a hole, you push McRae to 3rd, and then Leiter can get him in on something other than a hit.
McRae 14 stolen bases. Foul back this time.
If you have, excuse me, Gary, if you have the straight steal on here, Brian McRae's got to have designs to steal 3rd too for it to be effective.
One strike count on Ordonez. It'll back Brocious up now on that swing. He goes back even with a bag at 3rd. Pitch out, nothing on. He did not show bunt, and McRae was not running. See Bob Apodaca behind Brian McRae there. Mookie Wilson still away with his family. Personal matters. So Apodaca, the pitching coach, continues coaching at first for New York. Place of Mookie Wilson. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Irabu. Ordonez fouls it off down the right field line. No play for O'Neill. And a 1-2 count. Series, of course, sold out. All 3 games. Mets urging all the fans coming to use public transportation wherever possible because it is tough driving in and out. 1-2 count.
Can't we all get along? No.
No. That's the historic classic and still the answer.
It should be. You've got to be kidding me.
1-2 count. See the folks up there on the subway Railings. Jeter to second. Knobloch the bouncer to first. Can't be handled by Posada. Good takeout slide at second base by Brian McRae. Fielder's choice for Ray Ordonez.
That's what did it. Brian McRae barreling into Chuck Knobloch at second base, causing the low throw. This ball hit hard enough. Good toss by Jeter, but watch McRae. But this is just another game for the Players, right? We said it before, and it's just another game.
Game.
Yeah, right.
2 down. Al Leiter, left-handed hitter as he is a pitcher. 4 hits and 28 at-bats on the year. And now you don't want to send McRae because you don't want him to be thrown out and have Leiter leading off the next inning, maybe?
Right.
Strike taken from Irabu, 0-2. Or at first, Ordonez, rather. As Ordonez. Jorge Posada playing in front of him and off the bag. And Irabu gets his first strikeout against the opposing pitcher, Al Leiter. No runs, no hits, and a base runner left on. Mets lead at 1-0. Back after this from Land Rover. The Yankees down 1-0 here in this ball game as we go to the 3rd inning. A couple have been left on by the Mets and one by the Yankees. For Al Leiter, 1-3 lifetime in 4 starts against the club he originally signed with, the New York Yankees. He says that was so long ago, though, not a lot of feelings in that regard still remain. Not that it's just another game, but the Yankees are a long time ago in his career. Joe Girardi, the veteran catcher, leads it off. Strike 1. Seven for his last 17. For Girardi, Irabu will follow, and then the top of the order and Chuck Knobloch due up. Leiter bounces that one. It's an overhand breaking ball. First one.
First curveball, yep. First off-speed pitch of the ball game for Al.
Girardi, just a 200 hitter off left-handers this year, 4 for 20. Down to third. Alfonso, even with a bag, plays the big hop. 1 down. In pinstripes, and it wasn't for very long. He was 7-8 with the Yankees from 87 to 89. K's in the innings pitched, then traded to Toronto for Jesse Barfield, and of course the great years there, and then on to the Florida Marlins. World Series ring there last year, and now with the New York Mets. They're having a great season, all-star season, 9-3, best ERA in the game. Hideki Irabu wasn't sure if you stay in the box or not, and it's a strike to him.
He may not be staying in the box, but they're staying home in Japan as we speak. In Japan right now, it is 9:30, or approaching 9:30 on Saturday morning. NHK, that's NHK, is broadcasting live via satellite throughout the entire country. Estimated 2 million people are watching on a Saturday morning.
Second baseman Chuck Knobloch.
Yasuo Fuji is doing the play-by-play, and Masanori Murakami, who used to pitch for the San Francisco Giants, a left-handed pitcher, faced him back in the middle 60s, as a matter of fact. There's Masato Yoshi on the right, Hideo Nomo on the left, and Irabu starting tonight.
The international game.
Oh, man.
2 down on the strikeout. Leiter's got 2 in the ball game now, and Chuck Knobloch will fly out to left field. Knobloch 2 for 12 and a home run, lifetime off Leiter, and a timeout here. In that regard, a big story today in the New York Times about baseball going international, trying to put together teams to play a World Cup of baseball, if you will, in the future. Teams from different countries made up of Major League players primarily. That's on the table right now for Major League Baseball.
Thinking that it could be a done deal within the next 3 years.
0-1 delivery. Knobloch fouls it back and a 2-strike count on him. Major League Baseball is planning another tour in Japan. The games to be played after the World Series this year. reasons, of course, with these transfer of players from other countries to the majors. Knobloch lets that one go. Fastball down and away from Leiter. 1-2 count on Chuck Knobloch. Obviously, huge acquisition for the New York Yankees. With this outstanding second baseman in this lineup, it's helped them to that 10-game lead they've got, and 53 wins. For the Yankees, they've now tied the second-best start ever in Yankee history. It's pretty amazing that it's only second. Tied for second. The best records for the Yankees in their history goes back to 1928. They are now tied with a 1939 team at this point in the season for the best record of this many games having been played. 3-2 count on Knobloch. That one, a broken bat, foul ball outside of first. And Knobloch will go back and get some new lumber. While he's there, we'll remind you that today's game is brought to you by Budweiser. Brewery Fresh Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball.
Chuck Knobloch being traded to the Yankees opened up the way for the young Todd Walker with the Minnesota Twins. Todd could be the Rookie of the Year in the American League. He is having a fine year, batting .338, sixth in the American League in hitting.
Three-two count again to Knobloch. And he walked him. First walk given up by Leiter. Comes here in the third inning with 2 down.
Shortstop, Derek Jeter.
The Yankees certainly are not the Bronx Bombers anymore. I wouldn't call them the Bronx Walkers either, even though they do lead the American League in walks. And who is Keith Hernandez? What's that guy's name to the right?
Wasn't he on, was it MASH or?
How could he afford a ticket to get in this game?
He's got that card.
Oh. I guess Keith picked up the bill tonight, right? Jerry Seinfeld. So Hernandez is right.
Derek Jeter hitting .312. 2 down. Yankees with a man on at first base. Jeter grounded out his first time up. Jeter, big numbers against left-handers. 409 against southpaws. That is the second highest average against left-handed pitchers in the American League. He's got a runner at first base, and Leiter will make a soft toss over there into John Olerud.
I think Knobloch, as experienced a base runner as he is, he has 20 stolen bases this year. He's not going to fall prey to the Olerud fakes. What he's doing, he's moving beyond Olerud and watching Leiter. You can see him look back right there. Said he was beyond him. Actually, he was behind him then, but kind of peeking around. You see Leiter's right leg. When that right leg goes behind the left leg, he's committed to go home. Here's Chuck. That play is designed to block the base runner and his view of the pitcher.
Knobloch with those 20 stolen bases. One of the reasons these Yankees are second in the league in stolen bases. Pitches down low, and Derek Jeter ahead on the count now. 3 balls and no strikes with 2 down here, and a runner on. 1-0 Met lead. There's Paul O'Neill on deck.
I think Joe Torre will let Jeter hit here, and Derek will try to look, if he is hitting, for a ball down and in so he can golf it.
There it was. Fouled it off, 3-1. Testing Newton's law, Don Zimmer.
Derek Jeter trying to jerk one off Al Leiter. That ball down and in, and he fouls it off.
Some pretty good motion down and in. Don Zimmer made a nice play. 3-1 count. Knobloch, 20 stolen bases off first, not going. Inside. Strike 3 call. Or strike 2 call. Jeter thought he had ball 4. He was on his way down.
Mets got a break on that one. That looked like ball 4 to me. I was throwing my bat away with Derek.
You weren't alone.
No.
I had the copy to throw in a commercial right here. 3-2 count. Back he goes. Ricky Henderson still leading the American League with 32 stolen bases. Knobloch is 7th with 20. Olerud stays in front of him here. 3-2 delivery. Fouled off again by Jeter. These hitters on both sides not giving in here and working these pitchers hard early in this game.
That's the thing. We mentioned it our last broadcast with Al Leiter facing the Marlins. If right-handers are going to put the good part of the bat on the ball, they have to pull it foul because that pitch is boring in on them. The only time you're going to keep it fair is if you break your bat.
3-2 again, runner goes. That's why, Timmy, for Leiter, right-handers are hitting 201 off him. That's right-handers off a left-hander 201. Left-handers do better at 238 because of that pitch.
Here's that prior pitch. That 3-2 pitch. You can see when you put the ball in play on the fat part of the bat, you got to pull it foul.
3-2, third time, 2 down. Tom Knobloch back in the bag. Yankees have a chance to lead the league in stolen bases this year. They are second right now. They haven't led the American League in stolen bases since 1985. 3-2 count. Pitch number 50 by Leiter is a ground ball to short. Ray Ordonez. No runs, no hits. Base runner left on. Mets lead it by a score of 1-0. Back after this from Chrysler.
Now get extra savings with the Chrysler Owner's Bonus Sale.
Here's what we were talking about with Derek Jeter. Remember the ball he pulled foul on that 3-2 count, that ball boring in on him. That's pulled foul, and then the out was the ground ball to shortstop in on the hands to break his bat. That's what we were talking about. To keep it fair, you almost have to trade a bat to keep it fair.
And might not get much out of that bat.
No.
Edgardo Alfonzo takes the pitch up high, and Irabu continues to struggle out of the strike zone here as he falls behind 2-0. Alfonzo had a great at-bat in the first inning. 10 pitches, fought off Irabu and got a walk, and has scored the only run in this game. This one fouled back and a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Irabu has walked 3 already and struck out 1. Edgardo Alfonzo has moved around in the lineup, of course, for the Mets this season. Number 2 hitters, where he's primarily been spotted most of his career. Mets need that bat at the top, though, in the on-base percentage. Foul back again, 2-ball, 2-strike count. Two-ball, 2-strike count. Yogi Berra just walked in, and that's my heart just flippity-flops on that one.
What I was impressed with was Yogi's throw to home tonight. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, what a cannon you still have.
Oh, you were too? 2-ball, 2-strike count. I'll tell you what impresses me even more. Did you hear what Yogi just said? I said, how's the book going? 4th printing.
Wow.
4th in the New York Times bestseller list.
So it's more than 4
More
printings.
than 4 printings. Holy cow.
I'm telling you. Everything. All I know is they're selling yours at Shea Stadium and not mine.
2-2.
St. Louis, Tim. I signed 3,000 books.
Is that right?
3,000.
God.
St. Louis.
It's worth it, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I got to see the family and all that.
That's
that
great.
was good.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Took them out to dinner on the hill.
I bet you went to Dominic's.
No, we went to Zia's.
Zia's. All right. Yogi growing up on the hill in St. Louis, down the street from Joe Garagiola. Across the street, sorry.
2-2. And strike 3 call. Irabu gets his second strikeout.
Yogi correcting me quite promptly.
Very promptly. I'm staying out of this conversation.
You're learning the television business.
There's enough of them, I'll tell you that, boy.
What a thrill it must be to come back to Shea under these circumstances.
You know, after 25 years, it's pretty darn good. You know, a lot of guys think I did it because of Steinberg. It wasn't. It was 25 years. Got managed here. We won the pennant.
1973.
Right. And see, they asked me to come out opening day over here to throw out the ball, but I couldn't make it. I had something else to do.
You were writing a book.
Yeah? No, not that part. No.
That book was already written.
That book was done, right, yeah. I got to ask you a serious question about that. How much does it hurt you not to be going back to Yankee Stadium?
Oh, I don't know yet. I can't tell you.
Really, you don't know yet?
No, not yet. No.
Well, does it hurt? That's a very good question.
Not right now it doesn't. Maybe one of these days I might surprise a lot of guys. I don't know. But right now, I'm happy. I'm neutral in the game tonight. Like to see a good game. Really good.
You're seeing a good game.
So,
what a breaking ball. Oh, mercy. Gilkey caught looking, and the knees buckled. Strikeout number 3 for Irabu.
Ralph Kiner used to call these jelly legs right here. And boy, those legs turned to jelly.
Yeah.
That was a nasty breaking ball from Irabu.
not bad.
You've caught
It's a little bit of a hanger, though. He could have swung with that.
2 down, Mike Piazza. Jeez, you are a hard critic, Yogi.
No, Yogi's finding out that just like we all find out, it's much easier up here.
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, I love when the ball hung inside.
You liked it. You liked it
that.
inside, yet you liked it high too, didn't you?
Well,
When you say-
anywhere in that area.
Try me.
In other words, anything you could reach, right?
Yep.
Off the bat of Piazza.
We talked earlier that Hideki Irabu could not come inside the Piazza because he doesn't have that tail and fastball, but he came in then.
How many times have you been to your new ballpark?
2 times.
2 times
I'm going out to New Park Sunday. We're giving hot dogs for 50 cents.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's wonderful.
The museum's going up real good, too. I'm real happy on that.
Love that.
Yeah.
Chopper towards the middle. Jeter over. Gobbles it up.
Both of them.
Pretty good, Yogi. He can play, can he? 1, 2, 3 inning. There's Yogi throwing out that first pitch. Threw it just like a catcher. Way to go. We'll be back after this from Dodge.
Bryce.
Giants and the Jets play here August 20th on UPN 9.
Well, the series has already lived up to the anticipation. The Mets have the 1-0 lead. First inning run coming on a double play ground ball. Irabu and Leiter battling each other. Those are the numbers through the first 3. We go to the 4th inning. Gary Thornton, McCarver, Jerry Seinfeld, Keith Hernandez, and Yogi Berra.
I saw Keith tonight when I come in. He said he couldn't get a seat. He had to call Jerry.
I should have called you. Paul O'Neill.
I got my whole family over. All my grandkids are over there and everything.
Tell the people now who you practiced with for that first pitch tonight.
With my granddaughter.
I love that.
Lindsay.
Lindsay?
Yep.
1-0 count on O'Neill. And that one ripped a shot to center, base hit. 5-game hit streak for Paul O'Neill now.
That's a great adjustment by O'Neill. You may remember he was jammed the first time up and grounded weakly to Carlos Baerga. This is a similar pitch. Watch how he brings the hands in, head down, and hammers one to center. Well, what a hitter he has been for the Yankees.
Oh, yeah, he's been a good hitter. He's coming along real. He started off slow, but he's coming along real good.
Year after year, he puts up great numbers. He's a .287 career hitter coming into this year. Now the Yankee and Met fans start their own battle here in the stands. Raines had a single his first time up. Strike 1 on Tim Raines, hitting at .288.
He keeps going.
38 years old, and it runs in the family. The Baltimore Orioles have just signed his son, Little Rock.
He's hoping he can hang around long enough to play a baseball game with his son. 1-0 count on Raines. Leiter. Outside corner.
I was looking up at St. Louis in Minnesota. I thought maybe McGuire's got a home run over. That's a good ballpark to hit in.
At Metrodome in Minnesota. Minnesota over the Cardinals 1-0 in the top of the third.
Can you believe the home runs, Yogi, that are being put out by everybody?
Boy.
It's unbelievable.
But Sosa, what you got, 20 in a month?
Yep.
0-2 delivery. Raines takes it.
McGuire with 35 home runs. Sosa with 32. And King Griffey Jr. with 30.
There might be 3 guys hitting 60.
Maybe. Maybe.
1-2 count on Raines. Mets 1-0 lead. They've held on to since the first inning. Yankees and Mets have both threatened on other occasions. That one is foul by Raines. You get out in front of it.
Something I've never asked you. In all seriousness, how tough was it on Roger Maris in 1961?
He had it tougher, I think, than now. You know, television wasn't in. He was getting wake up in the morning at 3 o'clock. Writers calling him up, and he just couldn't handle it then. You know, he didn't know that many people, writers were going to be around television.
Olaru's got to make a play, and he'll get the runner at first. Raines, O'Neill goes to second.
Did Rogers' Yankee teammates, of which you were one, did you know it at the time that it was taking its toll, that it would ultimately prove?
Well, yeah, a little bit. But then Roger got all right. Mickey and Roger were very close. I'm not kidding. They were very close. Heck, we were pulling from both of them. We didn't care.
Mickey had 54, right?
That's right. We wanted to win the pennant. We didn't care who hit the home runs, and they pulled for each other. They really did. And Roger was a good ball player.
I'll say.
Jorge Posada, runner at second base. Yankees with a chance here to get this ball game tied up. 1 down.
A lot of people think because he had 61 home runs that he was a one-dimensional ball player, but he could throw. He always threw to the right base.
Run for a big man.
Go from first to third.
Very good. And
always hit the cutoff man.
Good outfielder.
He was.
O'Neill off second base. And that one's going to be a base hit up the middle. Ryan McRae up with it. O'Neill around third. This game's tied at 1. Jorge Posada, the RBI.
Part of the magic that Joe Torre has worked all season long. Jorge Posada had not played first base all year. In his first start, he's 2 for 2 and ties it with a single up the middle. Everything Joe does is working this year.
So far. Well, Casey used to do that too. He's pretty good. It's good when you got players you can maneuver around. It is.
Chad Curtis. Towering pop-up, third base. Alfonso had to battle it. 2 down.
You know, Whitey Ford's out here tonight, too. He
is. I didn't see Whitey.
Yeah. He called my wife last night and said, if I knew you were throwing out the first ball, I would have called it for you.
Oh, that would have been a switch.
I knew it.
Boy, you caught quite the staffs of the New York Yankees. Those guys could pitch.
Was Ford the best pitcher you caught?
Well, we had quite a few. Ford, Rashi, Williams, Lopez, Bob Turley. We did all right, I'll tell you. We always had somebody. Just like the other St. Louis when we played.
Classic understatement.
Yogi, it's great seeing you.
Okay.
Now, I hope you're selling Timmy's book at your ballpark.
No, yeah.
Okay, thank you
We're
very
going
much.
to try.
I'm coming over and check it, too.
Okay.
Back after this from Toyota. Stadium tonight, this game being brought to you by Nobody Beats the Wiz, your total home entertainment center. And by your local Greater New York Toyota dealer. Toyota, every day. Gary Thorne, Tim McCarver, and Yogi. Wow.
A beautiful man.
I'm telling you. Irabu faces John Olerud and gets the strike in. Olerud get into the double play his first time up with the bases loaded and nobody out. Big out for Irabu, who has walked 3, struck out 3, and the Mets with just 1 hit Off Irabu so far in this game. Olerud, the strike on the outside corner. Irabu settling in.
After throwing that double play ball to John Olerud with the bases loaded and nobody out in the first inning.
2-strike count. Inside to him just to back him off a little bit. Set him up for another outside pitch maybe here. John's average, he'd been in the top 10 hitting in the National League virtually all of this season. He has dropped out of that now, not just by about 3 points with that .324 average. That breaking ball, that one misses. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Olerud.
That's the thing about Irabu. He gives you so many looks. The slow curve ball, you think about this at bat. The slow curve and then the splitter that missed on the 0-2 count. And the good fastball away.
2-2 to Olerud, and it's up high, full count. He can be his own worst enemy with the walks. I mean, with those averages we told you about, there aren't going to be many hits off him in a game when he's pitching. 3-2, he gets Olerud.
Second baseman, Carlos Baerga.
4 strikeouts. Olerud does not go down swinging very often. He has struck out only 35 times this year. Carlos Baerga. Baerga grounded out his first time up, 3 hits in his last 9 at bats, 286 on the year for him. Talking about Carlo before, Carlo saying that stance of his, he said too wide, had to shorten it up, and he said, who calls me? My dad. Now his dad's here for this series. His dad watches him on TV and said, you got those feet too far apart. He said, I closed him down with that third at bat the other night, and that's when I got the base hit to center. He said, but I have to keep thinking about it. For some reason, he said, I'm just spreading that stance out more than I have in the past, and I don't feel comfortable when I do it.
It's an awkward way to hit. With that open stance, it's very stiff with not a lot of flexibility.
Posada makes the play, and there are 2 down.
Right fielder, Butch Husky.
2 down, bases empty. Butch Husky coming up. This is where the Mets, of course, have struggled this year offensively. They're pitching best in the majors, team-wise, ERA. Trying to put runs on the board has been a problem. 1-1 ball game here in the 4th inning, and Husky flied out to right field his first time up. Going for the down, strike 1.
That's why that first inning was such a killer for the Mets. They do not have many innings where they load the bases with nobody or 1 out. When they do, they have to capitalize because of the infrequency of having innings like that.
Chopper to short, Derek Jeter, the easy hop. And Irabu retires the side in order. That's 8 in a row now. He is set down, 9 if you count the fielder's choice. 1-1 back after this from Dunkin' Donuts.
The people doing the battle.
Sports Team 9 is coming up after the game.
1-1 ball game, 5th inning, a hot, humid baseball night, and a reminder that on August 20th, the NFL comes to UPN 9 when the Giants and the Jets collide in preseason action live from the Meadowlands.
It is that time.
You folks can turn to UPN 9 for every play as these 2 teams battle for Big Apple bragging rights. The Giants and the Jets, Thursday, August 20th at 8 o'clock right here on UPN 9.
Joe Girardi. Turn, got hit. Tried to turn away from that and couldn't. So the leadoff man on again for the Yankees. That's the 3rd of 4 innings they've had the leadoff man on in this game.
That's the 7th hit batsman by Al Leiter this year, and that's one of the problems with that cut fastball, because in order to be effective, he has to keep it inside. And this ball tails in too much to Joe Girardi. Joe tries to get out of the way. Looks like it hit him on the left shoulder. And Irabu up there to bunt.
So Leiter Now faces Irabu. Obvious bunt on here. Struck out his first time up. Try and catch Girardi over there. You may note, see those uniforms? Mets, no names. Just like the Yankees. Mets usually have names in the back of their uniforms. These are new uniforms.
Que pasa?
Que pasa? Nelson Doubleday, co-owner. Likes the tradition of no names. Bunted foul. So, the Mets got new uniforms for this series of the Yankees and took the names off. Girardi will come back. 1 strike count on Irabu.
Olerud out to talk to Leiter to tell him what he's going to do. One of 3 things. Nobody was better at this particular play than Keith Hernandez. As a matter of fact, Hernandez worked with Olerud in spring training about the bunt play with a runner on at first.
Trying to make that out at second base.
That's one of them, and Leiter almost threw it away.
We talked about that roving target created over there. And Olerud's moving around. So he's looking at Bruce Benedict now.
This is 3. So it's the third one. Olerud can charge, and Leiter will step off. And now Olerud's going to tell Leiter, you know, sometimes some plays like this are just not worth it. I mean, you got a pitcher in a rhythm like that, like Leiter is. I mean, he's leading the majors in earned run average. And now all of a sudden he's got to divert his attention to a pickoff play. Some guys can do it, but Al looks confused out there.
1 strike count. Again, the throw over. The reason Leiter obviously has got to get this right is Olerud's making these moves, so Leiter's got to be in sync with him. Or he's out of position.
Well, that's right, because if Olerud charges, Girardi will run if Leiter goes to the plate.
Charging this time, the bunt popped up, foul. So Irabu unable to get the first 2 down. 2 strikes on him with nobody out. 1-1 ball game. Irabu trying to move the base runner up here, and again Olerud will come over and make sure that they're on the same page.
The one thing about Girardi is an excellent base runner. You're going to say, well, he's a little short, squatty catcher.
I didn't say that.
But no, well, I mean, you know what I'm saying. He had 13 stolen bases a couple of years ago.
Strike 3.
No, I didn't say that either, but that's what they say about catchers. You're short, squatty, big, thick ankles. You can't run a lot. You know what I mean.
Irabu can't bunt. Understandably. Rarely gets the chance. So that's 1 away. Irabu doesn't get it done. Girardi remains on at first base, and Chuck Knobloch coming up.
Barrel of the bat under the ball, and you're going to pop it up. And he did.
Now Knobloch, who has walked and flied out to left field. Irabu unable to help himself. Olerud will still stay off at first base with the right-handed batter up here. And that cutter's on the inside corner for a strike to Knobloch. Right from the get-go, first inning of this game. Almost every pitch, every at-bat being played like 9th inning, 2 down. 0-1 delivery. That gets away from Piazza. Girardi a turn at second. That's where he'll stay. Well, that takes care of the sacrifice bunt that was needed right there.
It should be a pass ball. Piazza is sitting outside. And what happened on that play, he blocked himself out. A lot of times the catcher's arms get inside the shin guards. And when you try to move to your left, as Mike did, you're blocked out. You actually block yourself out. Move the left arm over, but your leg's there. Watch his left arm right here. So you can't move because the shin guard's there. You have to keep the arms flexible and above the shin guards.
Now Knobloch with a 1-1 count. Got a potential go-ahead run out there at second base in the person of Girardi. And he drills it. Foul. 1-2. Knobloch at 276 with runners in scoring position for this Yankee team, which is second in runs in the American League. Great balance on this ball club. Second best ERA in the league. Second in runs, second in average, first and fewest home runs surrendered. That's why they've got all those W's. 1-2 delivery up the middle. Leiter couldn't get it. Base hit. McRae coming. Girardi makes the turn. He'll score. No play at the plate. Yankees lead 2-1.
Shortstop Leiter.
Knobloch, the RBI single.
Well, we want to take you back to all those throws at first base. You know, those throws with a guy like Al Leiter. To me, you're thinking too much in the game. I know that's part of the Mets and the way they play the game. This ball back through the box could have been fielded by Leiter. But since all those throws to first base, I'm not blaming it all on that. But he's been out of sync. Got the pass ball and the ball down and in. And now the base hit by Knobloch.
28 RBIs for Knobloch. Derek Jeter still one away. And the cutter missed inside. Ball one. That will bring Piazza out to talk to Leiter, maybe trying to settle him down a bit. Leiter is a very emotional pitcher.
Yeah, he is.
And if he gets upset by something like you were talking about, Timmy, with all those throws, it really affects his presence on the mound.
Some guys don't like all those trick plays. They get into a rhythm when they're pitching, and they don't want to be upset by the intervening pickoff throw. The one thing the Yankees can do is really drive in that final nail, and Joe Torre loves to play aggressively when he's ahead. Counts in Jeter's favor. I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see Knobloch running here.
1-0 count on Jeter. And that one is Ordonez again. A little easier that time.
Right fielder.
Two down.
Didn't have to range as far to his right, did it? Jeter jammed again. Leiter has been living inside on Derek Jeter, and for the most part, all of the right-handers. Good base running by Knobloch. You can't get doubled up on the line drive to the left side, because if the ball gets over the shortstop or third baseman's head, you're only going to go to second anyway.
Now Paul O'Neill. O'Neill singled and scored in the fourth inning. Came around on the RBI single by Jorge Posada. Runner at first, 2 down now. Knobloch not going, and a strike on the outside corner. See Ray Ordonez, shortstop, way over there, almost behind second base. Derek Jeter's taking an 0 for 3, unable to get one off Leiter. Fouled off the other way by O'Neill. Strike 2. Two-strike count. Got him outside corner. O'Neill didn't think so. 4th strikeout for Leiter.
It's time for the rock and roll.
Back after this from Ford.
It was the year James Dean.
Quite verbal with a lot of American League umpires. Ball does not make a quiet out. He may have had a case here unless the ball caught the front corner. Did it? Very close. Piazza catching it about 6 inches outside. But Paul punched out. Surely you jest, is what Paul said, the home plate umpire.
To which Ed Rapuano responded, "Don't call me Shirley." Brian McRae takes the pitch up high. McRae, Ordonez, and Leiter. Yankees on top, 2-1. 2-5-0 for the Yankees. 1-1-0 for the Mets. 1 hit, and that was in the first inning by Bernard Gilkey. This one may be number 2. Deep to right field, near the pole. Goodbye, home run. of the bat. Brian McRae ties this ball game up. 30 RBIs on the year, 9 home runs. Rare Ordonez. That ball right off the screen on the fair pole. Oh, 1 to Ordonez. Irabu's given up 9.
A high fastball to Brian McRae on the inside part of the plate.
The 9 home runs off Irabu, 6 have been hit by left-handers. And McRae got his left-handed, the switch hitter. 8 of his 9 from the left side. Pop foul by Ray Ordonez and a 2-2 count on the Mets shortstop.
Ray should play a little game with himself. We talked about in spring training. Anytime he hits a foul ball up in the air, he ought to find himself a buck. Got to stay on top of the ball in order to be a good hitter. Particularly a guy like Ray Ordonez, who is a high ball swinger and not a high ball hitter.
3 ball, 2-strike count. O'Neill in right. Curtis coming over from center calls him off and puts it away. First out here in the 5th inning after McRae led it off with a home run. Well, the fireworks continue here in game 1 of this 3-game set. Leiter takes the strike. Leiter has had 1 at-bat and struck out. Ball game tied at 2. Mets now with just the 2 hits, but equaling the Yankees in runs. Leiter, strike 2. Four for 29 on the year at the plate for Leiter. Irabu outside without a ball and 2 strikes. And that's a strikeout. Irabu's 5th of the game, 2 coming against Leiter, 2 down here in the 5th inning.
Third baseman, Eduardo
Didn't mention, Timmy, Yankees did make a change today. Apparently right before the game, Jeff Nelson, the reliever, went on the DL with lower back problems.
Mike Buddy called up for the 2nd time this year, called up from Columbus, the AAA affiliate of the Yankees.
A change in the bullpen for the Yankees. Edgardo Alfonzo, bases empty and 2 away. Alfonzo scored the first run for the Mets, leading the game off with a walk and scored on the double play hit into by John Olerud. McRae's homer, the 2nd for New York. Yankees, they get 1 in the 4th inning. That one drilled left field. Alfonzo got all of it. Goodbye, home run. Edgardo Alfonzo, and the Mets lead it 3-2.
Nobody on. He was looking for something to drive. He got the low fastball, and that's his long ball.
The topper by Gilkey. Girardi gets him at first. But the Mets use the long ball. 2 home runs, McRae and Edgardo Alfonzo. And those 2 runs put him on top. Alfonzo right now with the go-ahead. Back after this from nobody beats the Wiz.
Friday, July 17th. All fans will take home the new Mets black cap free.
This is a good-looking cap.
For tickets, call 718-507-TIXX.
Show up at Shea for Cap Day, sponsored by Sharp Electronics.
Well, the Bobbinhead Dolls have had a lot to do bobbing about here at Shea Stadium tonight in the first game of this Subway Series, with the Mets now on top 3-2 as they use the long ball to take the lead. Our new Dodge quiz, speaking of home runs, who hit the most home runs in New York City? Willie, Mickey, the Duke, or none of the above?
I think I know the answer to that. Or at least I'm going to guess. Not now. Not now.
He's hit more home runs at Shea than anyone else.
Yeah.
Darryl Strawberry.
I think that's a trick question.
I do too.
Yep.
Because it's in New York, right?
Yep.
Leiter against Raines. Raines is singled and grounded out. Raines, Jorge Posada, and Chad Curtis due up for the Yankees as we go to the 6th inning with the Mets on top 3-2. Leiter 1 walk, 4 strikeouts so far in the game. Two-strike count on Raines.
No, it's not Willie Mays, because Willie came up in 51 and the Giants moved after the 57 season. And then he came into New York, of course, as a member of the San Francisco Giants.
Two-strike count. And in the dirt, Piazza blocking that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Raines. Governor of the state of New Jersey, Christine Whitman, is on hand tonight. We've been down there with Nelson Doubleday, co-owner of the New York Mets. Strike 3 called. Outside corner, and Raines didn't like that one.
First baseman, Jorge Posada.
That's what happens to right-handed batters. They become so conscious of that ball inside. You can almost see the body language of Raines. That pitch could have been outside, but very, very close. The point is that you're inside, 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 and now all of a sudden that fastball away looks like it's twice the plate away.
Ed Rapuano, home plate umpire tonight. Jorge Posada, as Timmy mentioned earlier, has had a great start here. Tino Martinez out, so he's in at first base, and he's had 2 singles and an RBI. He came in with just 2 hits in his last 17 at-bats. There's Martinez, obviously available on the bench, but not to start in this game. 1 ball, 1 strike count on Posada. 5 strikeouts now for both Leiter and Irabu. Difference, the home runs off Irabu. 2 in that last inning, McRae and Edgardo Alfonso. That is a fair ball. Posada continues his night. Gilkey over to get it. He'll try for 2, and he'll go in standing.
Center fielder, Chad Curtis.
This ball had a lot of top spin on it. It's that in-between hop, and to try to backhand this ball could be murder on an infielder. Alfonso diving over it. Ball stayed down, and a double for Posada, his 8th of the year.
3 for 3 for Jorge Posada. 1-out double. 6th inning, potential tying run on at second base for the Yankees. And Chad Curtis, who is lined into a double play and popped out, denied an RBI in that 2nd inning on the great play made by Ray Ordonez against him. He's got another RBI opportunity here. Ball 1 up high.
Leiter has stayed inside, inside, inside to get Curtis twice. Once on a pop-up and once on that double play, the near triple play in the 2nd inning. If you're a right-hander, you've got to sit on that pitch inside.
4 for 21 against Leiter. Went away that time with a changeup and a 2-0 count on Chad Curtis. Changeup, the pitch. Timmy and I were talking with him in spring training with Al Leiter about that. I mean, that's the pitch he's tried to develop here in the offseason and use this year to show something different. Behind on the count here, though, 2-0. Leiter, a 1.60 earned run average coming into this game. Foul tipped off the end of the bat. 2-1.
How about that? 2 change-ups in a row. The 1-0 change-up misses, comes right back with it. See, by doing that, now you establish that fastball back inside. A 2-0 change-up by Al Leiter. You can see Piazza sitting away. Curtis out in front.
Leiter on a 6-game win streak coming into this game. 2-1 delivery, way up high. That's a jumping up to get that one, and a 3-1 count on Chad Curtis. Leiter only 1 walk so far in this game. He has walked as many as 5. In fact, those 5 walks came in the last outing against Florida. And he won 3-2. Check at second on the 3-1 here. Edgardo Alfonso looks the runner back. Curtis retired.
That was another changeup. There were 5 pitches thrown to Chad Curtis in that sequence, including a 1-0, 2-0, and a 3-1 changeup. Curtis out in front. That's just smart pitching by Al Leiter. Remember, the count was 2 balls and no strikes. Here's the changeup fouled away on the 2-0 count. And now on the 3-1 pitch, he misses with the fastball. We were saying that Curtis probably sitting on that fastball inside. Look at Piazza sitting away. Changeup, rounded to third. Fine piece of pitching by Al Leiter.
Now 2 down. Still on at second base, Posada. And Scott Brocious, who has struck out and popped up. Brocious, though, a big-time hitter against left-handers. Yankees have the number 2 and number 3 hitters in the American League off left-handers in Jeter and Brocious.
Hey, Scott Brocious has been a godsend to the New York Yankees. He's played in all but 3 games, 69 out of 72 games this year. Look at his road record, 100 points higher than at Yankee Stadium. 48 RBIs for a guy who's hitting the 7, 8, and 9 hole for the Yankees.
393 off left-handers, and he proves it. Base hit. Posada comes home, and we're tied again. 3-3.
Catcher Joe Girardi.
Posada scores.
Those 2-out RBIs are RBIs where you have to produce a hit for the most part to get the run in. Not a cheapie. No sac fly, no ground out early with the infield back. You must get the hit, and Brocious did once again. 49 ribbies for Brocious.
Timmy, at this time last year, he had 18 RBIs and was hitting 195.
Well, the New York pressure's really gotten to him.
He can't play in this city, I'll tell you that right now. Game tied at 3, 7 hits off Leiter. Fly ball right field, Joe Girardi backs Husky up. It's in the yard. But the Yankees pick up a run on 2 hits. They leave a base runner on. They've come back to tie this game up, and we'll come back after this from Sprint.
You see, David, I feel your feelings betray a feeling I felt about your feelings. And I felt our feelings had grown beyond feeling this way. What you felt...
Let's face it, you're not always clear on a cellular phone. But now there's Sprint PCS, the only nationwide all-digital network for a new level of clarity.
I'm going to Mexico with Brad.
Sprint PCS.
It's only for 2 weeks.
The clear alternative to cellular.
Lots and lots of Yankee fans. Obviously here, as Met fans were at Yankee Stadium last year. 3 games in the Subway Series, and the other 2 are anything like this one. Ooh, it's going to live up to expectations.
Really a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It really is.
Great excitement. Mike Piazza leads it off against Irabu. Timmy and I were looking here at the home runs, 2 in this game off Irabu. He gave up 3 in 3 innings in his last outing against Cleveland.
That was last Sunday night when he worked only 3 innings. His worst outing of the year, 5 earned runs.
A nasty movement down on that one, 1-1.
That was a wicked splitter to Piazza.
1 ball, 1 strike. Mike Piazza has grounded out and drawn a walk for his last 9. Fastball right there that time, 1-2.
This is that 1 ball and no strike splitter to Piazza. Boy, that thing really went down from the mezzanine to the lobby.
1-2, foul back. Piazza has said he wants to catch virtually every game, and in fact, since coming over, that's about what he's done. But he too may need to take a day off once in a while and just recoup a little.
Did have that 1 day off in Florida after he hyperextended that right arm.
That one to right field. Paul O'Neill back, can't get it. Piazza makes the turn on his way to second base. Looked like a playable ball for Paul O'Neill, but he never got it lined up.
Well, that's the Mike Piazza the Mets remember facing with the Dodgers. He is so strong the other way. He just hits this ball with his arms. A splitter on the outside corner. Flat puts it. And that ball just takes off. Takes a lot of strength to do that, particularly the other way.
So Piazza has a double. 7 of those coming with the Mets. John Olerud, 4 hits off to Irabu, and a strike to Olerud, was hit into a double play and struck out in this game. Olerud, he's got a base hit. Piazza will make the turn. Chad Curtis up with the ball. Throw, and Piazza holds. Missed the cutoff man, but Olerud's got to stay at first. 2 on, nobody out.
No way you're going to send Piazza momentarily frozen right there. It was a line drive. Curtis does miss the cutoff man. However, you could miss the cutoff man with John Olerud running because John's not a fast runner. Cookie Rojas telling Olerud to watch the fake to third and the throw back to first base.
5 hits off Irabu. Game tied at 3. Mets threatening here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Yankees have scored 1 in the 4th, 5th, and 6th. Yankees got 1 in the 1st, 2 more in the 5th, and threatening here. Mayorga's 0 for 2. Breaking ball.
What Cookie Rojas was telling Piazza, a ground ball to the third baseman Brocious, stay. A ground ball to the middle of the infield, go. They'll go for 2 to the middle. They'll only go for home if the ball's hit to Brocious at third.
Carlos Baerga, breaking ball. Inside, did he go? Yes. Home plate umpire Ed Rapuano making the call.
You know, the one thing the Mets have a difficult time doing, hitting a sacrifice fly. I mean, how infrequent have sacrifice flies been with this ball club?
1-1 delivery. Baerga to first. Tag made. They go to second of the rundown. A run will score. And the tag put on by Jeter.
Now that's inexperience at first base. If you tag first and come home, then you get Piazza.
Right fielder Butch Muskie.
Posada with a cannon for an arm. He turns his back to home plate. Piazza running all the way, and Joe Torre understanding that there is no way with his inexperience. Watch him turn his back. Now he loses the vision of Piazza. But if you step on first and then throw home, you have Piazza easily.
Because Piazza hesitated. He was not going on conduct.
Obviously, it would have been a tag play at home as it is here. They got 2, but the wrong 2.
So the Mets are back on top 4-3. But Piazza, you see on that ground ball, easily scores with the play going to second. Husky fouls it back, and the Mets have a 4-3 lead.
Just 2 killer double plays the Mets have hit into. Once with the bases loaded, nobody out. And now with first and third and nobody out. They really have a difficult time lifting the ball with a runner at third in less than 2.
Husky had no trouble going down, however, on the pitch by Irabu. 1-2 count.
That's a breaking ball right there. Man's overreacting.
And he puts one right over the head of Irabu. Husky's got a base hit. 2-out single.
Center fielder Brian McRae.
Even if it was an overreaction, it does make a hitter feel good when he goes down and then hits one back through the middle. As Joe Torre, used to managing in the National League, will make a double switch and take Irabu out of the game. Woo! Husky went down, and so did Irabu.
Paid back time. Well, Irabu goes 5 2/3, gives up 6 hits. He can't win this game. Tino Martinez in the double switch will come on to play at first base. And Mendoza's coming out of the bullpen. This call to the pen brought to you by OmniPoint.
I'd like...
Tino Martinez comes in the game, and we are unsure whether he will hit 8th or 9th, because this is a rare rendition of a double switch. Jorge Posada moves from first to behind the plate. Joe Girardi, who was scheduled to lead off, I beg your pardon, Joe Girardi made the last out in the 6th inning. So Mendoza will hit 8th, and Martinez will hit 9th to lead off the 7th, and Posada stays in the ballgame.
26-year-old right-hander, hard thrower, sinking fastball, slider. But he relies on that fastball to get ground ball out. It's a good 90-plus mile-an-hour fastball that Mario Mendoza throws. Not many of the Mets have had a chance to see Mendoza from the plate. And Irabu, 5 2/3, giving up the 6 hits and the 4 Met runs, and responsible for Butch Husky on at first base. So he leaves the game not having won in his last 2 starts, and he's not going to win this one either. Could be the loser. Brian McRae, 2 down. Mendoza's pitch in the dirt blocked. Posada. And a strike called.
Not too often do you see a first baseman move behind the plate as your #1 catcher. That's what Posada is. Keep that strong bat. He's 3 for 3 on the night.
Wow. Nasty off-speed pitch right there. 2-strike count.
Ramiro Mendoza is a starter. He's a starter who's in the bullpen. The Yankees have a problem in that they have too many starters. They have 6. When El Duque, Orlando Hernandez, came up, he was inserted into the starting rotation, Mendoza to the bullpen.
And he got him. Made quick work of that. So McRae, who had a home run his last time up, a strikeout victim here. But the Mets will add another run on 3 hits. They leave a base runner on, and the Mets are up 4-3. Back after this from McDonald. There's the line. 4-6-0 for the Mets, 3-7-0 for the Yankees. As we go to the 7th inning. Our new Dodge quiz. Most home runs hit in New York City. Willie, Mickey, Duke, or somebody else?
Mel Ott.
Mel Ott. Answer is Mella.
All right.
You are invited to tomorrow's game here at Shea.
You win a new car.
A new car.
Always used to like that. You win a new car. What kind of car is it? It's just a car.
It's an apple.
Yeah, a car.
Tino Martinez will get his first at bat here. And takes a strike from Leiter.
Tino probably saying to himself, I waited all night for this to come in and face this nasty left-hander.
Seesawing ball game. Fouls that one off, and Leiter quickly up on the count here. Martinez 213 off left-handed pitchers this year. Top of the order, Knobloch and Jeter to follow. Tino Martinez. Leiter's walked only one, struck out 5, and hit a batter. Yankees have been retired in order only once, and that was back in the first inning. And Martinez wants a timeout.
Now, Lott hit more home runs in his home park than anybody in the history of the game. Polo grounds.
Polo grounds. And Leiter taking too long as far as Martinez is concerned, so he asks for timeout again. He's had only 5 hits in his last 43 at-bats. A lot of that going back to the pitch he took in the back from Benitez against Baltimore. Whether or not that's affected him or not, he says no. Torrey wonders. And his numbers against Leiter. Had an MRI on that right shoulder taken here in New York. Again, he says he's okay and there's nothing wrong with that right shoulder. But it does look like he's not driving the ball. Joe Torrey says not driving the ball the way he did before.
Not getting a lot of extension. Finishing the swing.
2-ball, 2-strike pitch to him.
When a left-handed batter in particular finishes a swing, see a guy like Darryl Strawberry or something, that right arm is straight. Tino Martinez, the right arm's just a little crooked, and that's what you mean and Joe Torrey means by no extension.
The strikeout, number 6. Martinez, the first out here in the 7th inning.
Second baseman, Chuck Knobloch.
Out of the strike zone. Of course, you really can't tell right there because that was a bad pitch. Tough to judge whether he got extension on that. That was just a nasty cut fastball in the dirt.
Knobloch, RBI single. His last time up, has walked and flied out to left field. That's on top 4-3 here in the 7th. In the opener of the Subway Series, and it has been an outstanding ball game. The Yankees have had to battle back all night long here. They've been able to do it, but not to get on top. And a strike on the inside corner.
I think pitching a baseball isn't a great business. What other business can you be in and have nasty and be called nasty and have it be the supreme compliment?
Leiter gets that said a lot about him.
Yeah.
1-1. That's one right there. 1-2 on Knobloch.
Nasty.
The whole barn door to hit that one. Met fans applauding for the K on the 1-2 delivery. Teased him with one away, didn't bite. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Irabu's final line, the 4 runs on 6 hits, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. And that missed inside, and the count goes full. 3-2 on Knobloch with 1 away and nobody on. Derek Jeter's on deck. 3-2. And they'll have to do it again. Leiter, in winning his last 6 games, had an ERA of 1.43 over those 6. And just, he's been virtually unhittable. Up to 103 now in this game. Again, the 3-2 delivery. And a walk. So Knobloch, for the second time, draws a walk. Those are the 2 given up by Leiter. This one with 1 down.
Derek Jeter.
Today's game brought to you by Budweiser. Brewery Fresh Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. So the Yankees again. Base runner on here in the 7th inning. Leiter's had to work throughout this game with somebody on base. Derek Jeter's had an 0 for 3. He's grounded out twice and lined out 3 for his last 20. We've often mentioned to score runs, you got to get on base. And that on-base percentage of the Yankees, 371. You see the average, 336. Those are the top 4 in the majors. Yankees, Rangers, Astros, and Giants. I will throw over to first base.
That's why Knobloch is such a valuable asset to the Yankees, even though he has not hit like he did in Minnesota. His on-base average is superb. Notice the 3-2 pitch, he fouled off, and then he got the ball from Leiter. In order to have a good on-base percentage, you have to make contact with 2 strikes a lot. Foul off the tough pitches, and Knobloch does that.
Jeter still waiting. All these throws over being called, of course, from the dugout. Knobloch, outstanding base stealer here. Jeter up and 1 down. The Yankees down a run in the 7th. Same pitch, down and in, strike 1 on Jeter. Fell all the way across the plate on that one.
Derek has not gotten the ball out of the infield against Leiter tonight.
Batting .309 on the year for Jeter. 24 years old today. Went outside corner. Boy, those 2 pitches. Oh. Derek's smiling.
Yeah, Derek's smiling, saying, hey, you wouldn't hit it either. And I agree with him. Nobody's going to hit those 2 pitches. Down and in, then down and away.
2-strike count, 1 down. Knobloch off first. Piazza trying to find it. Knobloch doesn't go. And it's a 1-2 count on Derek Jeter. He saw more pitches last year than any other American League hitter. That's the kind of eye he's got, how tough he is fighting off those tough pitches.
That's exactly right. With 2 strikes, he fouls them off, fouls them off, fouls them off, like Knobloch. Similar hitters in that regard.
2 very tough hitters for a pitcher at the top of that Yankee order. 1-2 delivery. Outside with it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Paul O'Neill on deck. Fans aren't into this game too much, are they? Every pitch draws a reaction. 2-2 count. Full count, 3-2 as this battle goes on.
Knobloch from 1-2 to 3-2. Fouled the ball off, drew the walk. Jeter 0-2. Now it's 3-2.
Mets are leading 4-3. Every lead tonight has been a tenuous one for both teams. 3-2. Knobloch goes. Olerud over. Leiter's got to hurry. He won't get there.
mistake by Al Leiter. He did not cover. What happens for a left-hander, particularly one who throws that cut fastball? Looks like Leiter may have hurt himself, as a matter of fact. What happens is his momentum carries him toward third base. He tried to regain his balance and late in covering. Right there, you see him go toward third base, and he may have hurt himself. Looks like a groin pull. And of all the guys on the Mets team, the one guy they cannot afford to lose along those lines is Al Leiter.
Timmy, it looked like it was right there on that stutter step he took, going over to first base.
There are left-handers who have that problem because their momentum and all that torque and force carry them toward the third base line, right there. So now he has to get himself righted and try to cover, and he not only doesn't cover in time, as Jeter has an infield hit, but Al may have hurt himself in the process.
See him pull up short.
Yeah.
Fred Hina, the trainer, out there. Mets bullpen, of course, was not active before, but Rojas, right-hander, Brian Bohannon, left-hander, and that's it for Leiter. Try to pitch, can't do it. That's a big timeout for the Mets. Major League leading ERA pitcher Al Leiter comes out of this game, and you see how tentatively he goes down those steps with what looks like a groin pull. He leaves leading 4-3. The Mets will now go to the bullpen, and of course whoever comes on here, and it's Mel Rojas, will have as much time as he needs to get ready. We'll be back after this from Ginsano.
Since Mel Rojas entered the game, Willie Randolph, who was a superb base runner, I mean an excellent base runner, has been talking to Chuck Knobloch, one would assume, about two things: Al Leiter's move and how difficult it was with John Olerud, that mobile first baseman as he is, and now what to do with Mel Rojas out there with that big leg kick. He throws the splitter. In order for it to be effective, it's got to be down. He throws a high fastball. The one thing that would thwart a steal in this situation, O'Neill's a left-handed batter, and it's easier, much easier for a catcher to throw with a left-handed batter up there to third base because he's got the path clear for him.
There are the numbers on Mel Rojas, who comes on having worked a couple of days ago against Baltimore. 2/3 of an inning, had zeros across on the line that day. But now of longer concern is Al Leiter's condition, because boy, he really went gingerly off the field and to the dressing room.
Why wouldn't you bring Bohannon in a situation like this? You got Mel Rojas, a right-hander. You've got Bohannon warm. You got a on deck. He's talking about Al right there. That's Brian Bohannon. Looked like he was pointing to his left leg, almost questioning what was wrong with Al. That's Turk Wendell.
You got Paul O'Neill.
I beg your pardon, Randy Neiman, the bullpen coach.
With Paul O'Neill, Tim, he was hitting .360 off right-handers and .273 off left-handers.
Yeah, I mean, you know, why is Bohannon warming up in this situation if you're not going to bring him in?
Paul O'Neill, Yankees trailing by 1, have runners at first and second, Knobloch and Jeter. O'Neill has already singled 1 for 3 in the game. Knobloch will look back at second. Willie Randolph shaking his head, yes, see, I told you. That's just what they were talking about. O'Neill has faced Rojas before, 1 for 5 off Rojas. 2 on, 1 out. First ball hitting left field. It is deep at the wall, guilty. Way back, back right, home run, Paul O'Neill, a 3-run homer, and the Yankees lead at 6-4.
pitch, splitter. Home run number 10 for O'Neill. And if we talked about it before, we have every right to talk about it after. Why wasn't Bohannon in the ball game?
O'Neill gives the Yankees the 6-4 lead. Rojas one pitch, and O'Neill, who has had just 2 home runs off left-handers, now has 8 off right-handers. Raines, switch hitter, batting left on Rojas, strike 2. Bohannon watching.
Maybe they don't also serve who only stand and wait.
2-strike count. And Raines will foul that one off outside of first base. The long ball, of course, is what Rojas battled with last year when he came over to the Mets. This year, it really settled down. As far as home runs were concerned, that's the first one a left-hander's had off him. And it's only the second home run he's given up all year. Check swing by Raines is fouled off. 58 runs batted in now for Paul O'Neill. A huge blow in this game. And Leiter will be charged with 2 of those runs. That came on the homer. To short, Ray Ordonez. Raines is retired. 1 for 4 now for Tim Raines, and there are 2 down here in the 7th inning.
Catcher Jorge Posada.
Raines out of there. Jorge Posada coming up. Perfect night going. Posada's got a double, 2 singles, an RBI, and a run scored. Yankees now with 6 runs on 9 hits. Lead at 6-4. 9-iron cut there by Posada. Strike 1.
You couple with that the fact that Rojas is a fly ball pitcher, and 28 double play opportunities this year. He has thrown 2 ground ball double play balls. There was 1 out, runners on at first and second. Lefty against lefty. You can take it all the way down as far as you want, and Bohannon's got to be in the ball game.
Fastball inside by Rojas. A 1-ball, 2-strike count. So the Yankees in this great first game of 3, back on top by 2 here in the 7th inning. Took something off that one. Rojas gets the strikeout, but the Met fans, a chorus of boos because that man drilled a 3-run homer. Paul O'Neill got it, and the Yankees are on top. Stretch time. Back after this from Nobody Beats the Wiz. A lonely seat at the end of the bench for Mel Rojas. First pitch delivered. O'Neill driving it out for a 3-run homer and moving into the top 10 in RBIs in the American League. And now the Yankees on top. We go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Now Mendoza becomes the pitcher of record for the Yankees. 26-year-old right-hander on in relief. And Leiter is the pitcher of record for the Mets. 5 runs on 8 hits over 6 1/3 off him. 2 walks and 6 strikeouts for Leiter, who had to leave with apparently a groin pull. Ray Ordonez 0 for 2 is hit into a fielder's choice and flied out. Chopper outside the 3rd. That'll take the count to a ball and 2 strikes. Yankees trying to continue their 2-game win streak. Mets have won 3 in a row coming into this Subway Series matchup. Andy Pettitte and Bobby Jones, the starters tomorrow. Orlando Hernandez, El Duque, and Masato Yoshi on Sunday night. Pitch down low, and it goes to 2-2 and Ray Ordonez. Another game in which the Mets are going to have to battle back from behind here. The 2-2, big heat. Mendoza gets his second strikeout.
Pitch hitting for Mel Rojas, number 11, Wayne Kirby.
Wayne Kirby announced as the pinch hitter for Rojas. Kirby's done a spectacular job coming off the bench and limited chances since joining the team. 3 for 4 for Wayne Kirby as a pinch hitter. He's been playing Triple-A ball prior to being brought over by the New York Mets. And Kirby a chopper to first. Tino Martinez.
Gary, what makes Mendoza so difficult is he throws an overhanded sinker. Normally, particularly right-handed pitchers who have to hold the ball differently than left-handers. Left-handers can't throw a ball straight anyway, as we look at the Nobody Beats the Wiz scoreboard. But most right-handers have to drop down in order to get the ball to sink. Mendoza throws it from 3/4.
Edgardo Alfonzo.
And you're going to hit the top half of the ball more often than not against Mendoza. And everybody knows ground balls don't go out of the ballpark.
Usually into somebody's glove. Toyota American League scoreboard. Strike on the inside corner. Edgardo Alfonzo, home run number 4, came in the 5th inning. When the Mets got 2, one by McRae and one by Alfonzo. But the home run of O'Neill has answered those. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Alfonzo. This is what you want out of a reliever in this situation. Your team just had a big inning, and now he comes in with the first 2 out and a chance to set the Mets down 1, 2, 3.
He has not thrown a ball above the top of the thigh yet.
1-2 here. Breaking ball and just fouled off. He's shown a good off-speed curveball here in the 3 batters he's faced. Mendoza hit on the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 17th appearance for him. Broken bat, bloop towards right field. O'Neill in. And Mendoza indeed does retire the Mets in order here in the 7th inning. 7 complete. Subway Series at Shea with the Yankees on top. Back after this from Dell Computers.
For 6 straight half innings, both teams scored. However, it's the Yankees who scored all 6 of their runs, 4 through 7, and the Mets tacking on 2 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th to retake the lead. But the home run by Paul O'Neill, the difference in this ball game. And by the way, folks, Mets ticket office is open late tonight, so you can call now to get Mets tickets for upcoming games. Operators are standing by. The Mets do go out of town after this series. They go to Toronto for continued interleague play, then to Atlanta. Then they're back home after the break for a long, long spell in late July.
Chad Curtis against John Hudek gets the base hit into right field. Slips going around first as Husky gets it back in. So Hudek on for Rojas, and Curtis greets him with a leadoff single here in the 8th inning. That's 10 hits now for the Yankees. These are the numbers. And John Hudek out of the bullpen. Rojas went 2/3 of an inning, charged with a run and a hit, the home run by Paul O'Neill. Scott Brocious, single in the 6th inning. He's 1 for 3 in the game. Olerud will be on the bag at first now, holding Curtis.
Curtis, 12 stolen bases, and the Mets thought he was running there.
Ball 1. Willie Randolph relaying the signs at 3rd. Big house on hand, and they've seen a heck of a ball game here. And they're far from over the way these teams have both battled back tonight. Foul back, big cut taken that time by Scott Brocious. Brocious came into the season as a .242 career hitter, batting .307. He had 4 home runs all of last year. He's got 7. Mendoza's come out in the on-deck circle. 18 RBIs at this point in the year last year, as you mentioned. Already up to 49. Runner at first, nobody out, 2-1. Misses, 3-1. Been out hit 10-6 in this game by the Yankees. Hideki pitches up high, and he walked him, so Hidek's in trouble. 2 on for the Yankees here in the 8th with nobody out.
Pitcher Ramiro Mendoza.
Ramiro Mendoza's hitting in the number 8 spot because of the double switch. With Tino Martinez, the on-deck batter.
The one thing you can do here with a batter that you know has no bat control, you can put the rotation play on with the surety. Willie Randolph is talking to Mendoza. That's all eyewash. I mean, he may square around and then swing the bat. You got to play this aggressively and try to cut down the lead runner, Chad Curtis. You may get a double play out of this. I would think the Mets would put the wheel play on consistently with Mendoza, the batter.
Mendoza's not been to the plate this year at all, any of the interleague games, and even if he had, not really matter.
Right.
First and second, nobody out. Squares around, runners go, and he got it down. Only plays at first, and they just got it covered by Irabu. Getting there very late, but a good job by Mendoza as he gets a sacrifice.
First baseman Tino Martinez.
Wheel play did not work, and the reason for that, it was fielded awkwardly by the wrong guy. Hideki was not supposed to field this ball, but Alfonso was. And now Alfonso sees Hideki make the play. And he ducks. Watch Hideki field this ball off balance. For him to throw to third, there's no way they're going to get Chad Curtis. So even with the wheel play, Martinez gets the job done.
Now 2 runners in scoring position with only 1 away. Hideki is coming out of the ball game after making this play. Tino Martinez is coming up, and the left-hander Brian Bohannon is coming out of the bullpen. We'll see how it works after this from your Tri-State Mitsubishi retailers.
Talking to third base coach Willie Randolph and Chad Curtis while we were away. That's Willie Randolph. And I'm sure he's saying any ground ball, even with the infield in. Now the infield's back. Everybody knows they're going to be playing in. Now they're coming in. That's eyewash.
Tino Martinez takes a strike. Bohannon on.
Everybody knows. I mean, they're 2 runs down in the top of the 8th inning. Why try and trick somebody in that situation? They're in now anyway.
Curtis on at third. Brocious on at second base. 1 out. Randolph talking to Curtis. Tino Martinez takes the pitch down low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tino came on in a double switch situation. Struck out against Leiter in his only at bat.
Ground ball right at an infielder. You can bet Chad Curtis will try to score on contact.
Brian Bohannon's pitch is inside. 2-1. Yankees lead at 6-4. We're in the 8th inning. Martinez, as we said, has not hit well against left-handers. Bohannon has actually been hit harder by left-handers than right-handers. 2-1 count on Tino Martinez. Bohannon wants the signs again from Piazza. Infield stays in. 2-1 is outside. 3-1. This is the man Bohannon was brought in really to get here, and Martinez, with Chuck Knobloch on deck, is going to stay in and face him anyway, but they really wanted to get it out on Martinez. Now the infield has gone back. Now they charge. Ball 4.
Second baseman Chuck Knobloch.
So Bohannon walks the first batter he faces. They are loaded, and Chuck Knobloch coming up.
It was a 3-1 situation where Baerga was actually back.
Chad Curtis, a single, started the inning. Rocha's got a walk. He's on at second, and another walk now to Martinez. Bases loaded. One down. Knobloch, an RBI single, couple of walks, and is flied out. Leadoff batter for the Yankees. And the first pitch is up high to him, ball one. Knobloch only .234 off lefties. He has had better numbers off right-handers this year. But a dangerous hitter. Contact hitter, as we said before. Bohannon behind here, 1-0. That one towards the hole. He's got a base hit. Curtis scores. Making the turn, Brocious. Throw to the plate. Tag. He's out of there. Bernard Gilkey. Brocious trying to score from second base. Thrown out by Gilkey. Yankees, though, get one run in. RBI, 7-4 lead on the hit by Knobloch.
This is a better charge than a throw. Watch Bernard Gilkey charging all the way, using that little shovel. That's the proper way that outfielders field that ball. They field it off to the side, shovel the glove to their right shoulder, and the throw's right on the money. That's a terrific play by Bernard Gilkey. Boy, that's a terrific play by Bernard Gilkey. The charge and the throw to get Brocious.
Two down. Runners are at first and second now. Two away. RBI Knobloch's got two in the game, 29 on the year. And Jeter's up. 7-4 lead. Jeter single had scored his last time up ahead of the O'Neill home run. Bohannon's pitch is down low. Hideki responsible for that run. Eleven hits now for the Yankees. Outside corner strike. Tino Martinez, the lead number runner at second baseman. And the Yankees are getting production out of this lineup, up and down the lineup. Everybody contributing offensively here tonight.
Up and down and on the bench.
Yeah.
All year long.
1-1 missed outside. Bohannon staying away on Jeter. Leaned up and looked. 2-1 strike count. Jeter's average up at 312 now. Four Met pitchers in the game. Bohannon the fourth. 2-1. That one ripped center field base hit. Tino Martinez, he'll come around to score. McRae's got to come to second. And it's an 8-4 lead. Jeter an RBI single.
Right fielder Paul O'Neill.
The key play in this game was Jeter's last at bat, not this one. Change up from Bohannon. And the Yankees score their 8th run. They have scored in the last 5 innings. But had Al Leiter not pulled that muscle and had gotten the first before Jeter, you never know how this ball game would be at this particular point. That time it was a 4-3 Met lead.
Yeah. Bill Pulsiver is coming out of the bullpen now for the Mets. Lefty to face Paul O'Neill right after this from Toyota. See the damage done by the Yankees late in this ball game, as they've now jumped on top by a score of 8-4, and the Mets go to the bullpen again. And left-hander Bill Pulsiver will make his 3rd appearance with the Mets, being called up on the 21st this week from Norfolk, where he started 14 games and was 7-5.
Now your emphasis switches to Al Leiter and his health.
Yeah.
And once again, the Mets cannot afford to lose Al Leiter. That'd be like losing Mike Piazza.
And Bill Pulsiver faces O'Neill with runners at first and third and 2 down. And if Leiter, in fact, has a problem that's going to keep him out, Pulsiver on the mound may be the one who stands in. Paul O'Neill for the Yankees, the big blow. 7th inning of this game, Mel Rojas' first pitch after coming out of the bullpen, deposited into the bleachers, a 3-run homer. Takes a second strike here. He's not been happy with Ed Rapuano all night and looks back again. Homer and a single, 2 runs scored, and 3 RBIs for O'Neill. He now has a 5-game hit streak. .332 batting average, 58 RBIs. And a line to the short. Ray Ordonez is there. And that will do it. But for the Yankees, a couple of runs here in the 8th inning. They extend their lead to 8-4. Back to Shea after this from the Puerto Rico Tourism Department. Road record in baseball at 26-13. Win tonight and they would even their wins at home, 27. They've got the lead here. Joe Torre's club, of course, the best in the game right now. Their win percentage phenomenal. And they've got the 8-4 lead. Bernard Gilkey, Piazza, and Olerud are due up here against Mendoza, who has struck out 2 since coming on in relief. He's retired all 4 batters faced so far. Gilkey 1 for 3 with a single his first time up. And that pitch caught the umpire full. Ed Rapuano. That went right by Jorge Posada and caught Rapuano. One count.
Yeah, it appears to be all right. As you see, the left-hander Mike Stanton warming up in the bullpen.
One delivered to Gilkey. Center field, Curtis. Mendoza gets the out one away. Fans, Ginsana is the all-natural energizer. Find the energy. Feel your Ginsana.
Talking about Mike Stanton, he went to the American League president, Gene Budig, to his office today. As a matter of fact, Joe Torre went with him to testify. Maybe that's too strong a word. But the plunking of Eric Davis, the 5-game suspension, is being appealed by Stanton. No decision was reached today, but it may be reached by the middle of next week.
So he'll be available throughout this series here, the Subway Series. Piazza had a double and scored in the 6th inning. 1 for 2 and a walk in the game for the Mets catcher. Inside to him and a 2-0 count. Mets have left only 3 on base in this game. They've used the long ball with 2 home runs in the 5th inning by McRae and Alfonso to get on the board here, but not a lot of base runners. Off to Irabu, the starter, and now Mendoza, who's the pitcher of record in relief. 3-0 delivery. Piazza takes a strike, 3-1. Yankees have had base runners on all night. They've left 7. They've gotten 8 of them home. 3-1 delivery. Piazza. 3-2. Down and away to him that time. Three-2 to Mike Piazza. The grounder towards third. Scott Brocious. 2 down here in the 8th inning.
First baseman John Olerud.
6 in a row have now been retired by Mendoza.
Whether it's true or not, in this age where everybody is talking about expansion pitching, things like that, the Yankees with 6 starters, and you are seeing what kind of starter Mendoza could be. Started 11 times and won 4 out of 5 of those games. It's not that easy, and he's making it look easy.
What a great luxury. El Duque is going to be pitching here in this series. Orlando Hernandez, David Wells, of course, has been spectacular. Winning against Atlanta, a shutout. And they have great depth where you need it most. Olerud with a 2-strike count on him. Olerud is singled, 1 for 3. See that average in June, 4 extra base hits in the month. That's been it for John. Down low, 1 ball, 2-strike count on Olerud. Olerud will be going back, of course, with the Mets to Toronto. Play Sky Dome against his former team. Strike 3 in the inside corner. Mendoza retires the side in order. He's done that for the last 2 innings and has retired all 7 he's faced. The Yankees up back after this from Dodge. Hernandez. It is under television rights granted by Sterling Doubleday Enterprises solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, or use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of Sterling Doubleday Enterprises is prohibited. Any commercial or other use of the program, such as by charging admission for its showing, is likewise prohibited. Great to have you with us, everybody. A very exciting night. Lots of electricity. Bobbin head dolls. Can't get over it either. And a great first game here in this first of 3 of the Subway Series. The Yankees have the 8-4 lead. As we go to the 9th inning, Bill Pulsifer remains out. He's faced only 1 hitter. And Ricky Leday is the pinch hitter for Tim Raines. Or, yes, Leday. Came onto the scene in a flurry. And that one is up the middle for a base hit. So the bench work continues as well. Leday on. Picking up the single. For Leday, that'll be his first as a pinch hitter with the club. And the leadoff man is on. That's the 13th Yankee hit in this ballgame. Jorge Posada. 3 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored, double, 2 singles. Struck out his last time up. Batting .267, started at first base for Tino Martinez, then went behind the plate on a double switch when Martinez came back out to play at first. One-0 count. And Pulsifer bounces that one. 2-0. Mets obviously interested in watching Bill Pulsifer at every outing. I mean, really important here. Is Pulsifer going to be able to get back? Rise to some of the acclaim that came with him earlier. Expected to be in that rotation for the Mets. Liner to short. Ordonez goes to first in a hurry, not in time. Posada out of there, 1 down. Today still on at first base.
3 Yankees have hit the ball hard against Bill. He's done the job, but he came in to face Paul O'Neill, who lined to short to end the 8th inning. And then the 28 hopper up the middle by Ricky Leday. Now the hard hit line drive. Boy, that Posada's had some at bats tonight, hasn't he?
He's hit the ball hard every time up. Chad Curtis, there's Posada. A 3 for 5 night. And an RBI and a start at first base. First time there. Catching now. Chad Curtis hitting .274 on the year. Curtis singled and scored in the 8th inning. They got him picked off. Pulsifer's move. Baerga the tag from Olerud. And Leday is gone. 2 down.
John could not get that ball out of his glove. I'm not too sure that Leday, that the foot wasn't in as the tag was made high by Baerga, because the ball beat him. Second base umpire Frank Pulley called him out. John with that double clutch. Nope, they had him easily, really.
Goes as a caught stealing since he was actually running. Swung on and missed by Chad Curtis. So 2 down, bases empty here in the 9th inning. And a 1-ball, 1-strike count on Curtis. Yankees 14-6 against left-handed starters coming into this game, and Leiter is the pitcher of record still for the Mets. Boy, that's the long term. We've not had any word on an update on Leiter. Had to leave the game with what looked like a groin pull when he went over to cover first base in the 7th inning. That is a major concern right now for Mets fans and the club. Curtis with a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Leiter had won 6 in a row, as we said, coming into this, and could take his 4th loss against 9 wins in this game if the Mets do not come back here in the 9th. 1-2 delivery to Curtis from Pulsiver. That's up high off Piazza's glove. 2-2. Two-ball, 2-strike count. Left-handers delivery to Curtis to right field. Husky started in. He's got to back up on it. That will do it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left. Mets get a shot at it. Bottom of the 9th, down by 4 after this from Budweiser.
9 innings they've scored. Mets Baseball 98 brought to you by Ford. Expect more, get more. Let your tri-state quality Ford dealers show you why there's more to afford. And by Ginkova. Sharpen your concentration with Ginkova, the natural supplement. Think better, think Ginkova. Well, the Mets and the Yankees are tied up again tomorrow at 1:15, a Fox telecast, and then ESPN on Sunday night. That game starting at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Bobby Jones will go tomorrow against Andy Pettit, the left-hander, and then El Duque, Orlando Hernandez on Sunday against Masato Yoshi. And our next game will be from Toronto next Thursday evening. The Blue Jays and the Mets on WWOR from Skydome.
Bottom half of the 9th inning. Mendoza's done the job. Mets have not been able to get on against him since he came on for Irabu in the 6th inning. He's retired all 7 batters faced, and he's got a chance to be the winner in this ball game. That's the luxury of having a reliever who can go so deep. Bill Pulsiver will just watch here after working an inning and a third, giving up 1 hit. Carlos Baerga leads it off and fouls it off. Strike 1 on Baerga. Baerga's had an 0 for 3 in the ball game. That's with 6 hits in the game, 4 runs, 2 of them homers. Both solo shots, both coming in the 5th inning by McRae and Alfonso. Looper to left. Days there and hauls it in. 1 down in the bottom of the 9th.
Right fielder Butch Husky.
By the way, folks, closed captioning of Mets baseball is brought to you by the company you count on wherever life takes you. General Motors, people in motion.
Butch Husky, the batter. Husky 1 for 3 with a single. Mendoza gets the swinging strike on him. The 107th meeting of these two teams. Yankees have a 61-44 edge over the years of baseball played. Down to third. Brocious knocks it down, took a big hop on him, guns it wide, way wide, off the facade. Martinez going over to get it. Husky will stay there.
A backhand and a ball that Scott Brocious usually feels. Probably be an error, the first error of this game, if it is an error. Scott Brocious leading the Yankees in errors with 11. That should be an error. I think he makes that play more often than not with Butch Husky, a slow runner, running.
No decision yet. Runner on, 1 down in the 9th, and McRae. Homered, struck out, and walked. Now they put the error up. Bounces away. Husky will stay at first here. Posada tracks it down.
Mets trying to get that tying run up there. They've won 9 games in their last at bat this year, but if they win this one, they will have earned it against perhaps the best bullpen in the American League.
Chopper, this could be trouble. Mendoza's got to hurry. Didn't get him. McRae with that big-time speed gets on. Husky goes to second. And the Mets have 2 on with 1 out.
Well, it all happened so innocently. An infield hit now for Brian McRae. And Mendoza can't get the ball out of his glove. Watch a double play. There. And that gives Brian McRae a chance to beat him.
Louis Lopez has been announced as the pinch hitter for Ray Ordonez. That brings Joe Torre out. They do have bullpen action, and he's going to make a change. So Mendoza will come out of the ball game. First hit off him, the only hit off him, in fact. He'll have a chance to win this game with an 8-4 lead for the Yankees. Back after this from Jeep and Eagle.
But the Mets with 2 on and 1 out here in the 9th inning. A fine job by Ramiro Mendoza, giving up only 1 hit in 2 2/3 innings of work. Mariano Rivera, 18 saves on the year and 21 tries. Mike Stanton with 5 saves for the Yankees. And Jeff Nelson, who was put on the disabled list this afternoon, has 2. One thing that hitters try to get Rivera to do is to get the ball down. That's the strange thing about Rivera facing this Met lineup after facing Mendoza, because Mendoza didn't throw a ball above the top of the thigh. And Rivera, to be effective, won't throw a ball below the top of the thigh. He'll throw it above it.
One of the game's real good closers. He is 5th in saves in the American League. 28 years old. Not many do much against him. Left-handers 185, right-handers 163. 2 on here for the Mets. Husky on at second base, McRae on at first. Louis Lopez is the pinch hitter. Mendoza's got a huge number of first batters faced. He's retired 19 of 23 first batters faced. 83%. That one misses. Ball 1 to Lopez.
I'm Lopez. I'd take a strike. Louis, the type of guy who would take a strike because he does not represent the tying run. Potential tying run is on deck. It's Matt Franco.
Franco out in the on-deck circle to pinch hit for Bill Pulsen. 1-0 count. Down to first. Martinez. 2 down. Runners move up, but does not get that potential tying run to the plate. Two away in the 9th inning. And the Yankees here in game 1 of the Subway Series need 1 more out.
Matt Franco.
Put this one in the W column. Matt Franco. Two for 18. In a pinch hitting role this season for the Mets. We go to the top of the order. Franco can keep it alive against Rivera. And the pitch is inside for a ball. 8-4. Leiter, the pitcher of record for New York. Mendoza, the pitcher of record for the Yankees. Mariano Rivera with a 1-0 count. 1-1.
That's the pitch that's hammerable, particularly for left-handed batters. That ball down around the knees. That ball upstairs, forget it.
1-1 pitch to Franco, missed inside. 2-ball, 1-strike count. One pitch foul back, and Rivera evens the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the Yankee fans are the ones making the noise now at Shea. 2-2 delivery. 3-2 on Matt Franco.
Franco trying to fight his way on base to get that potential tying run up there.
Two down. Walked him. Bases loaded. He got that part of the job done. So not done yet.
Third baseman is Gonzalo Alfonso.
Outfielders are reminded, Jose Cardinal reminding the outfielders near the Yankee dugout, throw the ball to second base. Forget Matt Franco. Cardinal pushing Ricky Leday, the left fielder, and now Ricky's saying, oh, okay. They're trying to prevent the double. That's why Cardinal's pushing him back. Same with center and right.
Alfonso with the bases loaded. Fastball's up high from Rivera. Bottom of the ninth inning. Yankees leading it 8-4. One grand slam in his career. That fastball's there, 1-1. Husky reached on the error to Scott Brocious with one out to start this. McRae, the infield single. He's on at second. Franco at first. Strike two, 1-2 on Alfonso.
He's down in the zone. You may remember the home run by Alfonso off Irabu earlier. If he can catch up to that fastball down, that's his long ball area. Of course, this guy throwing about 95 miles an hour at that easy motion. He is awfully difficult.
1-2 count. Alfonso not going to go easily. Keeps that count at 1-2 on the foul ball.
Rivera has not given up a home run this year, and that's remarkable for a guy who throws high fastballs. That shows you how fast, with that easy motion, he throws.
Inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rivera 3 blown saves this year. Mendoza, chance to be the winning pitcher. Two count. Alfonso popped it up at the plate. Jorge Posada. Game over. And the Yankees take the first of the Subway Series. Paul O'Neill, a huge 3-run homer in the 7th inning. And the Yankees win it by a score of 8-4. We'll come back and wrap it up after this from Chrysler.
Turby this evening through the first 6 innings, and the Mets with a 4-3 lead. And our Budweiser play of the game in the 7th inning with the Mets up by 1. 2 on, 1 out. The first pitch from reliever Mel Rojas to Paul O'Neill, hammered near the Bud Light sign. So that's our Budweiser play of the game as the Yankees win the first of 3 in this Subway Series. This has been a presentation of WWOR-TV, UPN 9 Sports. For Gary Thorne and all of our terrific crew, we wish you a good evening.